What is up, gamers? We can start sooner than usual. I usually give it a few more minutes. Wait a minute. There we go. There we go. Look at that. Now I get to pop up in the little corner. How we all doing? How we all feeling? And while I've got y'all here and I can ask how we're feeling and how we're doing, I do want to ask about any co-op games you'd like to see at some point, because I'm looking to collaborate with more people. A lot of kind of like one-on-one-y collabs, obviously, as well as like things like Mecha Chameleon with some other organized creators, but like some one-on-one-y things as well, because I think those are like are really fun, and those feel like they build your friendships quicker. And I do think that is a like kind of fun, cool thing. So just any good, you know, co-op games that you'd like to see me play with someone, because I still have to finish Portal 2 with I still have to finish Portal 2 with frickin' Yuko. I don't know why I forgot her name for a time. I almost called her Uriel again, which I always do like once a stream when I'm playing with her. I mean Uriel. I have to get back to doing something with Uriel. It's been a while since I did something with Plus or Supa. I've got some ideas for things. Aizen I'd like to do something with at some point. I haven't done anything with Isaac on the channel. Like there's a lot of... Oh wait, no, because me, him, and Bionic streamed Subnautica too. So I've done something. They have entered the Living Rain cinematic universe for some purpose. But yeah, I do wanna kind of get back in and get in touch with new people. I've been talking with Starlight Solari, who's another Arknights creator, potentially streaming with her. So that'd be another person to the Living Rain cinematic universe. Another addition. And you know what? While I'm thinking about it, let's get you guys your engagement video, chat. I haven't forgotten. Minecraft parkour truly is the best, and we really do have to at some point. I'm not sure if I can record and stream at the same time, probably, but we would have to at some point. We'll have to at some point do a stream doing some Minecraft parkour so that we have that. So that we have just like a video from me doing some Minecraft parkour that I can put over the background, because I think I've said it in the past. I would like to at some point. I think it would be fun to at some point do it for the sake of picture in picture. That's what I want. There we go. Get you out there on the side. There we go. So yeah, for the sake of, you know, nostalgia, going back to like the epic jump maps, because those were some childhood, you know, parkour maps and everything. But yeah, so just I just wanted to kind of put that out before we started that. If anyone's got any suggestions, maybe I'll mention it later, you know, once time's gone and some more people have cycled in and out. I'll ask again, but I am very curious about like, oh, what are some good co-op games to play? Because like Portal 2 is the main one that I know of, but it's like I'm already, you know, deep in that with someone, and you can't really at this point, because it's like I could restart it with Yuko, because most of the levels I hadn't done since literally lockdown. So like I hadn't done them since lockdown with some homies, so like I completely forgot all the puzzles. But now I can't just like start Portal 2 again. That's not really how this whole thing works. But yeah, I'll do some looking into it. I'll check some stuff and overall we'll see. Overall we'll see what manifests, what we actually do. Yada yada. What's up, Node? Or It Takes Two, I guess. Yeah, I've definitely heard about those. A Way Out would be cool if I didn't already know what happened in A Way Out. But all right, let's get ready to read, because we got ourselves a slightly longer day than last time, as we have both ST2 and ST3, so we technically have one more chapter than the first time. I don't think it'll realistically be much longer, because like, you know, 8-minute read. I don't think these are exactly super long. This event in general doesn't seem super long. It seems to be one of the shorter ones. I should say shorter of new releases, not like shorter period. Shorter period is a little bit harder to come by. This is the true harp of Caracera. The priestess of Endymion reaches out her hand to brush away a corner of the fence running around the burdened beast pasture, pulling out a few overgrown blades of grass, revealing a harp built into the fence itself. The simple instrument has nearly become one with the pasture. Not far away, the burdened beasts leisurely munch on the radishes the priestess had brought along, humming in satisfaction. Its coloration is darkened, the paint on the base is mottled, and all the decorative elements are still there. Their surfaces of burdened beast bite and hoof polishing marks. The whole thing looks like an ornament in the corner of the field. I shouldn't question you, but this, I find it rather hard to believe. You are a specialist in your field, and no doubt have a repertoire of techniques and standards to confirm it. You may examine it in detail. If you say so. The wood used for the harp's body is definitely from the firs that grow near the site of old Athenius. For its design, it's simpler than the one I brought. The strings are far too new, though. These are metal strings, only popularized in the last few years. The original strings snapped a long time ago. I replaced them recently. I had also tried using traditional beast gut strings, but no matter the type, the result was always the same. Legend has it that the day old Athenius fell, Caracera's harp fell silent, never to sound again. Metal, beast gut. Once a month I'd come here and try to play it, but I could never make it sing again. However you put it, it's the harp Caracera used, assuming what you say is true. The Sargonians aren't occupying Minos anymore, why keep it hidden in a field? Why when I suggested holding the ceremony at the first temple, no, even before that, when Asiniamos agreed to conduct the exchange for this relic, you're a priestess, you must have known. Why didn't you bring it out earlier? A harp that doesn't sing is merely a beautiful piece of wood. It can be a fence in a field, or a toy for the burden beasts, but what it cannot be is the centerpiece around which to gather everyone together for a ceremony celebrating the completion of a temple. This makes no sense. Even the fake we brought plays notes that move the soul, which is why it is merely a fake. As for the harp before us, if you don't believe me, try it for yourself. You may touch it. No need for reverence. I understand your hesitation. You can make it sing. You can create a miracle. And you may consider it the harp you brought along and use it to complete your trade. I make you this promise as the current keeper of the harp. Sorry, but I've got one more question. Why me? Sure, I need the real harp, but the first temple also needs it. I am a priestess of Endymion Temple, Caria Mashayer. We are the Hierophants of Revelation. For the people we interpret dreams, decipher visions, and divine the future. Sometimes we will offer some comforts of our own accord, but most times we will be passive, deferring to established facts and heroic wills. Words flow from my lips, but they are beyond my control. Like how the things appearing before my eyes are not necessarily a pleasure to see. Endymion. Okay, Endymion. Thank you, Wilbra. We might call coincidence fate, but when true fate approaches, all our witticisms and pontification lose their meaning. Administrator! Endymion! What are you doing here? You carry the harp of Caracera, counterfeit though it may be, and has appeared in Athenius. This can only be an omen. Events of the past few days stand as proof. What is most important is your character. It's because it is you and not your fellow countrymen that I expect your spirit to resonate with the harp. First, try singing heroic odes to it. Try playing it, give your heart to it, and speak to it. Then perhaps you'll really be able to make it sing. Bring about a miracle. Hey, she's finally gone. All that mysterious claptrap. Sheesh. Hey, what, ready to play already? You really believe her? She's a priestess of Minos and Pallas's friend. Thought she'd lie to me about this. Also, if we really can bring the real harp to the ceremony at the first temple, I'll sure be running all over Terra with a fake harp strapped to my back. It doesn't really matter if this is the true fate the priests speak of, or if it's some kind of test from the Minoan people, but I have to give it a try. And how are you gonna do that? All that give your heart to it, bring about a miracle baloney. What's your methodology here? I can't do the little Boston Mio anymore without thinking about the fucking Ted movie clip. Last year we had an Indian kid. Yeah, he was great, but they got him. What do you mean they got him? Yeah, real sad. What do you mean they got him? He shares Dunkaroos. Really great guy. Ever since I saw that clip again, I can't stop thinking about it. It's such a good bit. Just how vague ever since they got him is. Let's start by playing it. Oh, holy shit, that sounds terrible! Not good. No matter what I try, it only makes these dull sounds. Is the harp structure damaged? This kind of a handheld harp doesn't have a sound box. The issue's probably elsewhere. I've already tried adjusting the tension of the strings, but no effect. Could be a problem with some delicate internal component? I don't have any tools to take it apart, inspect it, and reassemble it right now. Oh, what a fucking pain in the ass. I'm thinking we could go back to stealing the fake harp. Worst comes to worst, I'll help you steal it. Stealing it doesn't mean you have to traipse around Terra. Well, we can still do that if you want. We go to your Pepe girl for some funding. But now the real harp's right in front of me. Making that choice now would be like running away. We can call it a tactical relocation if you prefer. Ever since I was little, the heroes and the tales my father told me, they never ran away. They weren't a bunch of fucking pussies. And, vague nobles, impatient noble, and flippant noble. Just my bad luck, having to take part in this worthless funeral. A useless idiot who squandered every chance the Padishah gave him. This mongrel destroyed our family's reputation. Hey, not in front of the girl! Oh, what does it matter? I said all that to the man himself. All he did was smile. Didn't have the courage to talk back. Couldn't fight worth a damn. Had zero skill in managing the family's estates. He said he could appraise things, but he couldn't tell the good gems from bad. All he ever did was buy a pile of ancient Minoan books. Who knows if that was even worth anything? All he did was think about useless things like that. I hate reading. Here is our little shot here. That's very nice. Very nice. Again, it's that classic Arknights, like, mixture of the old with, like, the very modern. Always very pretty. Maybe he had the sort of romantic soul the poets sing of. Romantic? Save it. Would you rather have romance or jewels? You're asking me? It's not like I'm a poet myself. To me, a giant jewel is an expression of romance. I'm a greedy bitch! The day my father was buried, the nobles of the city spoke ill of him in front of me and my mother. Mother said we were an ancient Sargonian family, and that we had to maintain perfect decorum, so all I could do was stay maintain an appropriate expression on my face. I know what they said may have been right, because he was a people pleaser through and through. Someone who amounted to absolutely nothing. But I still didn't want to hear them judge him as they pleased. The heroes of the Minoan tales my father told me were brave, never shrinking from their duties. They would meet all sorts of obstacles on their journey, but they were always determined, never confronting the challenges they had to confront. I never really knew why. My father was a weak man. Why did he love those stories? This passion of his, why did it never change him or how he treated people? I simply don't understand. Look, don't shoot the messenger here, but maybe some puny-ass humans yearn for the things they don't have. Maybe, but I always remembered how clear and steady his voice was as he told me these stories. I love those stories too. Those heroes, gentle, strong, resolute, always walking their own path. That's why I imagined them. Real Sigmas, you could say. There must be some greater purpose or ideal. Otherwise, I don't know what meaning there is in life. A hero must face fate bravely when it comes and carry their own burden. Father's stories always had lines like that. Those tales, Siapi, the hero who suffered in silence, keeping her secrets, Heracera, heresies. I need to think of a way. Eepy time, that's how you do it. As she sits out in the field, racking her brains, Titi falls into slumber. She dreams. Dreamer she is but 7 or 8. No, she could have been but 6 or 7! Her father was already ill at the time. With one cold hand he held her, while the other he flipped through the tome atop his knee, slowly reciting from it. He never bought her children's books or chose books specifically for her. He simply went with what he liked, but it didn't matter because Titi liked those stories too. In those tales, the silent hero Siapi does not speak a word for 30 years, all to keep a secret. Heracera, refusing to perform for Outlanders, hangs her harp atop a laurel tree. Perhaps it is the filter of dreams at work, but her father seems to tower over her. The slightly stooped back of her memory is now ramrod straight. His voice one of undeniable confidence. All of us have the chance to become a hero. When duty falls upon you, you need to take it up with courage, Titi. Really? Can I? How can you be so sure? It's been so long since she last saw her father. She wants to ask him these questions, but it's only a dream and it refuses to bend to her will. In the end, she cannot ask what she wanted to ask. Gentle light of the twin moons falls upon the pasture and upon the girl. The land is painted in silver. A breeze blows, curling up the girl's ribbons, lifting the burden beef's headscarves. Even the antiquated, marred harp takes on a gentle radiance under the moonlight. A teardrop slowly falls from the corner of Titi's eye, rolls into the bushes, soon gone from sight. There's the little Titi EP shot. Mio looking way more chill. I've fallen asleep after all that yammering. She didn't even wake me up. Oh, it seems the little girlie needs a beauty sleep too. Hey, what's with the crying? You're always all about that stiff upper lip, always saying you won't cry, and now you let me catch you in the act? You'd keep some evidence for later. Terminal, photo mode. How do you use this thing? Ah, press here. Yeah. Nothing interesting about a crying girl. Forget it. I'll help you out, you crybaby. Call it payback for the free meals these past few days. You wanted a miracle, right? Easy as proverbial pie. Moo! Oh god, it's a furry. It's a furry and it looks like a baby. That's a double whammy of no.
Some real nice weather we've got today. Gotta herd the bird beasts to the mountain pastures first, since it's such a lovely day. I better repair the fence. The bird beast. How did the bird beast get out? Fuck!
Alright, now. Scratch ear, snore sound. Noises. Medjehtiqedti! As if there wasn't enough that you went up by yourself first thing in the morning. Now you're slamming doors and disturbing my nap. Have you repaired the harp, or have you been enjoying Athenia so much you forgot about your job? There's no use trying to repair the harp. And giving up so soon? You can't fix a tiny crack like that? What were you doing in those classes you took in Columbia? Just filling the crack and painting over it isn't hard, but it's not just the harp that was damaged. It was also your fragile, bleeding heart. It was also Sargon's reputation. What? Karasera's harp was one of the best preserved relics I've ever seen. Wooden instruments are highly sensitive. The slightest blemish on the body could change its sound. That was why we were very careful during the appraisal process and avoided any destructive tests. I've heard it 1,000,000 times at the museum. The ornaments, string materials, and lacquer are typical of the Minoan style. Historical records indicate it very likely belonged to Caesarea herself. But something didn't feel right when I was repairing it last night. The wood chips that fell from the crack indicate the material was mountain firs, the kind that ancient Minoans often used, but something was off with the cross-section texture. The weapons of the heroes are made from ancient trees, so they'll have some pretty deep texture. No, it didn't look like the natural texture of wood. It was reminiscent of a certain moisture retention technique developed in Sargon. I read about it in old books about instrument making. Minoan plants are rich in moisture, while the climate in Sargon is generally dry. What important for Minos had to be specifically treated to prevent them from cracking due to the dryness. The cross-section I saw showed signs of such treatment. You mean this was not Karasea's original harp, but a replica made by Sargonians using Minoan wood? You sure you're not overthinking it? I didn't want to believe it, but I just took the wood chips to a lab. Testing revealed the presence of Sargonian resin dating back about 100 years. Oof, that fucking sucks. Like she has a cold mullet, I mean. You know what? Fitting. The harp looked perfect. It was virtually impossible to tell it was a replica without destructive testing. I doubt Medjehtiqedti even knew anything. I have to tell the Istanimos, we can't give the Minoans a fake harp under the eyes of Karasera's statue. The exchange ceremony must be stopped. Ambassador Medjehtiqedti's mission was to carry out the exchange ceremony. Benoy Effendi, we made an oath to the Padishah before we set out. How can you continue to call yourself the ambassador of Sargon if you fail to retrieve the engineering data from the construction of the 3 Polei? Yes, I have my duties as an ambassador. As an archaeologist, however, I can't overlook such a mistake, much less intentionally participate in a lie. That's why I say you have no political acumen. You see yourself as a museum curator, not a diplomatic envoy. The important thing about the relic exchange ceremony is not the relic, but the exchange. Who cares if the harp's a replica? It still makes a sound. You want to offer up a fake harp at the ceremony? Absolutely not. And what's your bright idea, Medjehtiqedti? Without the authentic harp and a ceremony writer on the corner? In the halls the minute I met, you told Padishah Kari that you loved the legends of Minos and wanted to see true heroism with your own eyes. Is your idea of heroism clinging to your obsessions and bringing shame to your country at the very first cultural exchange between Sargon and Minos since the establishment of diplomatic relations? Are you and your useless father one and the same? He ruined your family, turned the name Nasatu Mashayar into a high society joke. His obsession with literature, he abandoned his duties, even his duty to his daughter, forcing her to chase the shadows of heroes in books, failing to find any heroism in her father. This has nothing to do with him. I only have Minoan stories because, as emissaries of Sargon, our priority is to carry out the exchange ceremony successfully, not our own obsessions and interests. Your words, verbatim. I'll find a way before the ceremony, no matter what it takes. I can't let a fake, obstinate fool. Very well. You can meditate while I act on your behalf and carry out the duty that the Sargonian ambassador was supposed to perform. Not as if it changed anything. The Astimos and the guest, you're nothing more than a curious girl, an enthusiastic volunteer for the temple project while I negotiated with the Astinamos. I am, for all due intents and purposes, the true ambassador of Sargon. Hello. Maybe you don't remember me, but I've visited this ranch quite a lot lately. The herder Melita knows me. Please stop leaning on the fence and let me through. The burden beast does not wish to. It was not my intention to interrupt your nap. Perhaps you'll enjoy the grass. The dew is still fresh on it. I also brought some berries. Well, I'm out of bribes. In that case, would you like a dream interpretation? Curious? Maybe curia?
The cauliflower's a girl. Berries are too sweet for her, and grass isn't filling enough. You need carrots to draw her attention. If you find a bird beast has a fever and not even its favorite food can coax it to move, just scoop some water with a leaf and spray it on its horn to cool it down.
You really know your bird beast, Melita? I didn't know there were so many tricks to getting a bird beast to move.
Of course, they're not like backbeats, which are used to taking commands. Herder needs 100 tricks to coax backbeats into doing what the damn turn.
Oh, some of these voices make me yawn. They, I don't know why, but some of them just have that effect.
It's understanding that it builds a bond between bird beast and herder. Am I right, Melina? Sorry, cauliflower. Melina's my name.
Damn, sway tail, get up and leave.
Maybe it's a talent to know one way to get bird beast to move than other herders.
Thanks for getting cauliflower to move, Melina.
No problem. As a praises of enemy and temple gracing us with a presence means this place is blessed by the heroes. We couldn't be happier.
As long as it doesn't cause any trouble for you.
Of course not. All you do is admire the sights and look at the fence. A little while back, I was concerned that a foal could slip through the cracks in the fences. A few days later, you filled the gaps with strong threads.
Just doing my part.
They were very kind deed. I don't want to serve you anymore. I have a few hooves to trim.
Cassandra leans toward the filled fence where delicate threads stand in regular intervals, gleaming in the sun. Plucks one of the threads, hearing nothing except the breeze blow over the pasture. Oh, fucking hell. I'm a yawny boy today. I'm a yawny boy. Of course it wouldn't make a sound. Not even a bird beast running into it did. Isn't much time. When will you sing again? I woke up at like 6 a.m. today feeling well rested and everything, and it was good, and then, you know, now it's 9, 3 hours later, and I'm yawning. Felt good upon waking, but apparently feeling tired now. I know what you're here for, Kyrios Benhui. Rest assured, the relationship between our two nations is the highest priority. A little incident will not be allowed to affect it. A little incident? Xanthos came to Athenius 5 years ago, working as a ferryman and manager of the crossing. Took an apprentice, Lycaon, former preschool student. They're accused of attempting to steal from the room of Ambassador Medjehtiqedti. They are being held in custody pending trial in accordance with the law. Since the ambassador has elected not to press charges, a justification to comfort the ignorant people by a naive girl moonlighting as supervisor of the rebuilding of the first temple, not the decision of the honored ambassador of Sargon. I see your views differ from Karyamash. Yes, I will of course take full responsibility for this matter as a Steinamos. However, I would ask the two of you come to an agreement as to how we deal with it. You know what I mean, Steinamos. My view is that of the Sargonian delegation. This tragedy, the theft and destruction of the harp, would never have happened if the exchange ceremony was not repeatedly delayed. I have reason to suspect that you have intentions other than promoting the relationship between our two nations, that you have intentionally delayed the ceremony, and everything that took place did so on your orders. I hear the position of Astynomos was newly created following the administrative reform of Athenius, and you were rewarded with the role because of your contributions to said reforms. If something goes wrong with the first cultural exchange between our two nations since the establishment of diplomatic relations, and I congratulate you on being the only Astynomos who the people of Athenius will never forget. Ugh. Ugh. My nose is being stuffy now too. Maybe it was doing the fevery voice. The exchange ceremony is certainly my most important task. I will admit I was negligent for not arriving at the scene promptly due to a busy schedule. In that case, how would you define this incident, this theft and destruction of the harp? The brutal, barbaric, ignorant, baseless hatred of the perpetrators, the robbery and destruction of this symbol of friendship was a most despicable act. In my 30 years overseeing culture, and minute I met Sargon has received many letters from Minos requesting the return of the cultural artifacts that were removed during the occupation. Shouldn't these plunderers of Minos' natural treasures be severely punished if you Minoans truly value it so much? They will be tried according to Minoan law. As far as punishment is concerned, though, I have no intention of leaving the impression that Sargon's trying to bully the people of Athenia, as we are emissaries of peace. This is the most sensitive time, however. Just because Sargon and Mio signed a truce doesn't mean all is peaceful and well. The Padishah's used to solving problems with the force of arms. I would not give them a reason to get angry if I were you. Xanthos and Laocoon conspired to steal and deface a national treasure and sabotage the exchange ceremony. Their actions are tantamount to treason. They will be put on death row immediately. Thank you, Estetimos. I look forward to the exchange ceremony in a few days. Thank you. Thank you. Because the event is so boring, it makes me on or whatever. Nah, clearly, you know, it's a sign of adrenaline flowing through me, you know. Body's just catching up or some shit. I don't know. Get in. What's going on? It's not normal to transfer prisoners so suddenly, before we're officially sentenced. Let's take a look at the old jailer. It is interesting seeing the kind of modern tactical gear here. I'm just following orders. Move quietly and behave yourselves. Maybe there'll be a chance for clemency. You really believed the Sargonian ambassador would protect the Minoans who tried to steal the harp? We heard what she said to the officer. Would have been easiest to make the accusation while everyone was watching, but she didn't do it. You could never tell what someone is thinking. Submit an official assessment of the damage, put pressure on the Stenimos and peace officers. There are many things the Sargonian delegate can do. Death row A, we're getting the royal treatment. You should regret it, Laocoon. Destroying a hotel kitchen is nothing compared to the charges we now face. All the more reason we had to take what's ours back from the bandits. The Harp of Caracera sings only for the stories of heroes. It will not and must not sing for a false peace. I know you're past master, Xanthos, and I may not have experienced warfare myself, but I respect your decision. I couldn't let you risk everything by yourself, having known about your plan. You saved my life 2 years ago. It was your classmate from priest school Hakademos who carried you down from the archery range and you were injured. I just took in a former student who wasn't willing to continue the priesthood, that's all. An infected can never become a priest. It's divine work. Communing with the heroes and guiding the way for the people, I couldn't do it. As for Hakademos, all he wants is someone to debate him. Do not fool yourself, Laocoon. It will only make the pain worse when you finally have to face it. Master Xanthos? My friend brought technology from the nomadic cities when he came to my homeland after receiving divine revelation. He built a village in the barren swamps with us. People in the village respected him a lot, but he always had a dark look on his face, late at night. I lied to myself, tried to convince him that the river in his dreams wasn't red with blood. It's red because of iron that the river brought from upstream, that the revelation was supposed to bring him to us. But he didn't believe it? He was prepared to go to war from the beginning. I was fooling myself. River! Young people these days are foolish enough to fight the Sargonians to the death because of a dream like that. The two of you are here because you stole things from the Sargonian. Imagine having cheats for Mecha Chameleon. Of course it's got cheats. It's an online game. Of course people want to use cheats. People are just ill like that. Some people are just completely mentally ill like that. The Harp of Caracera belongs to... Do I want to just grind my throat right now? Not particularly. But perhaps the Harp of Caracera belongs to the Minoans. Even less worth it. What truly belongs to the Minoans these days after the Sargonians invaded 100 years ago? I'm old. I remember how it was. Hey, you're the one who invited me. Say something. I skipped the banquet celebrating the completion of the first temple for you, you know. You were a big part of getting the work across the finish line the day before the Craig's exchange ceremony. Sure, you should call it a full day of celebration. The craftsmen drinking and reciting poetry in broad daylight. Not all of them can hold their drink well. Guess the peace officers will have their hands full tonight. Kantia from the moving cruise, right? She's really taken to you after you helped her a few times. Yeah, it's been like a dream coming to Athenius. Right you are. The first day at Titi's, you solved the dispute between the fruit farmers and the craftsmen. Then you became the supervisor of the final phase of the temple project. And you chased Anthos more blocks after the harp was stolen. Way more interesting than just escorting a relic, isn't it? Yeah, but my job was to ensure the exchange ceremony goes smoothly and promote friendship between our two nations. What's the matter, Titi? This isn't like you. This isn't like you. I mean, sleeping off randomly like that just sucks. Let's see how much, yeah. Okay, you two were talking to each other for a second. I was like, was that a response to something I said? No, you two were speaking to each other. Palace, the harp of Caracero we brought, it's a replica. What? I would never have known if the harp wasn't damaged during my scuffle with Xanthos. Now my deputy Benwee wants to fulfill the Padish's mission by handing over the fake harp in the exchange ceremony, but I know that's not right. The ceremony is fucking tomorrow. You have a solution? There's no good way to do this. We need a miracle. I threw every relevant book I could borrow from the Bibliotheca of Athenius. I learned that the harp of Caracero was lost to a war a long time ago and hasn't been seen since. It's likely that the Sargonian craftsman who made this replica had only seen the blueprints, not the harp itself. Could the true harp still be a Minos, or it was destroyed by the fires of war long ago? I'm sorry. There's no need for you to apologize, but what do you plan to do if the true harp's nowhere to be found? I can't publicly announce in my capacity as a Sargonian ambassador that we brought a fake harp. It's more likely to lead to conflict than reveal the truth. A very reasonable concern. And so, I'll have to stop the ceremony in my personal capacity. What do you mean? I'm getting rid of the fake harp before the ceremony can start. Crazy moves. Crazy technique. Just get rid of the whole thing. No, you can't go in. Look! I know special visitors permits required to visit and deliver supplies. I just forgot! Can you accommodate me this once? My old classmate went in a couple of days ago. All of a sudden, his family asked me to bring him some stuff. Alright, to tell you the truth, he's pretty sick. The Athenian jail is a doctor in basic medicine, but it's not as effective as the Rhodes Island stuff, you know. He could have an attack while he's in custody. He doesn't get proper treatment. Save your breath. It's no use. Alright, I didn't want to do this. Here's my pass. Hakademos. Grammateus to the Astinamos. I am authorized to enter detention facilities, even bring in suspects for questioning. Open the door. This is an order. I will file the necessary paperwork later. Want to see two thieves who came in a few days ago? Lycon is not a... Never mind. Yes, you can't. Why? Why not? You are authorized to see prisoners held at the jail, but the two you're looking for aren't here anymore. Are they transferred? That's unusual. Has Anthopoulos' oripathy treatment system been implemented already? Where were they transferred? Don't bother, Academos. I don't know who they are to you. But not even the Gratanus of the Athemos is authorized to see inmates on death row. Death row?! What the fuck? Hey! Hey! Clerk? No. He's like a terrier. Sorry. Anthopoulos. Does Asinamos really not have the time? I heard that Xanthos and his apprentice were arrested for theft. They're my patients, and in a key stage of treatment, as the Rhodes Island Clinic already reported, Xanthos' blood originium crystal density is particularly high, which could potentially lead to an acute attack of oripathy. I would like to deliver medicine to them before. Look, I don't understand any of the medical jargon you're throwing around. We're all very grateful to you for returning to Athenius, bringing back medical knowledge you learned abroad, and establishing an oripathy clinic, but I shouldn't talk too much. But you're a good doctor, and the Astanamos' sister, you really should keep your distance from her for at least a few days, if only for the sake of your relationship. Why? The official line says the crime was theft, but the Sargonian ambassador came here a few days ago and said the thing was stolen. Wasn't the ambassador's personal item, but an important relic for the exchange ceremony. Put a lot of pressure on Lydia. They're probably going to be publicly charged with treason once the ceremony's over. Treason? But according to Minoan law, most of the issues the Astanamos faces cannot be solved through legal procedures. She wants a new modern Minos, and she's willing to give everything for it. That's why we're willing to work for her. Perhaps you're not aware, but she gave up her family inheritance, even chasing her other family out of Athenius after taking office. She gave up her inheritance? I thought the business failed. This exchange of relics is an important part of her administration. There must be no mistake. At least, not on the surface. Even if it means sacrificing 2 lives. It's not like they're innocent after all. I'm sorry. I have to go. I have to get back to work. But is Lydia... Well, she wouldn't meet with me, and no doubt I can convince her even if we did meet. But Xanthos and Lycon need to be tried fairly. I can't let Lydia make a mistake like this. What do I do? Oh, well, great news. You got someone else who wants that same thing. Sorry, I was lost in thought. Curia, the Polu? The Polo? I don't fucking know how it's pronounced. You've been staring out the window, Stanimos. Apologies, Hera Cassandra. Why not let Carther Athapolu in? I have to discuss the establishment of an erypathy treatment system with her anyway. No, I thought you wanted to get extra help to plead the case of the 2 infected who were arrested a few days ago. You know the ferryman Xanthos quite well. I believe you were the one who found him the job at the crossing. The peace officers will deal with this theft. Neither of us need to worry about it. I'm afraid I don't have that luxury. If this incident affects the trust between us and Sargon, then this incident will become more than a simple theft. What? It's my own business. It has nothing to do with the priestess of enemy and temple. Back on topic. Hera Cassandra, the opening play for tomorrow's exchange ceremony has been decided. It is to be King Perseus, a popular classic across Terra. All the priests need to do is attend. There'll be no need for complicated rituals. You're an asshole. A few weeks ago, I came to discuss the priest-directed ceremony of play for the completion of Caracera's first temple. I have not yet seen you at the CEO's office since. I apologize, my schedule's a busy one. I certainly remember. The exchange ceremony also requires an opening play, and we can kill 2 foul beasts with 1 stone this way. We need not bother the priests, however. Excuse me, but the rebuilding of Caracera's first temple is a symbol of the people's spirit. Now that it is complete, tradition calls for a proper ceremony to invite the heroes to enter the temple and give Minos their blessings. The council is not trying to usurp your administrative power, and the exchange ceremony does fall within your responsibility. However, Minoan drama began as a ritualistic performance. Every single detail is carefully arranged, from the props to the program to the performers. It's not enough to simply put on a popular play. Immortal legend, witness of the oracle, heroic relic. Do not think I am completely ignorant of traditional ceremony, or that I'm one of those radicals who calls for every tradition to be abolished, just the ones I don't like! The ones I don't like we can abolish, the others we can keep. It's the ones I don't like that are the problem. But even if you have your choice of the program and control over the troupe, there's still something missing from the traditional ritual that you want, isn't there? The Sargonian mission brought Caracera's harp. Oh, you do recognize the relic's ritual significance. What do you mean? I'm neither an archaeologist nor a historian. As a Stenamos, however, I understand every priest who sits on the council, including you. You are the head priestess of Enminian Temple. You are endowed with the divine gift of speaking on behalf of the heroes. Your knowledge of heroic epics puts most scholars to shame. Yet you showed no interest about the harp of Caracera the Sargonian mission brought with them. You didn't even ask to see it. I don't know why exactly, but I can tell the harp the Sargonian mission brought was not the heroic relic that you knew. The ceremonial play could not have been performed to begin with. No, I have nothing against the council, Hera Cassandra. If you present a legitimate heroic relic for the ceremony, I'd be more than happy to give the choice of play back to you. For the past century, however, the temples have mostly used crude replicas in place of true relics for your ceremonies. I don't need to tell you the link between us and the heroes is weakening. As a modern state, Minos can no longer rely on ancient legends to unite our people's spirit. No need to worry, however. The temples and priests will continue to exist. Oh, jeez. It was a powerful eruption of sneezes. You can continue to contribute to historical research and tourism. I need to real quick go, just grab a little snack or something. Because right now I'm feeling a little faint. Not sure why. But I'm gonna go eat. I'm gonna go just grab a little snack real quick. It won't take long at all. I'll expand you guys' engagement video. Enjoy the engagement video. I'll be back soon, okay? I'll be back in a minute. I might take a piss while I'm gone. Back to the engagement. Alrighty. Okay. Sorry about that. We are, I think, all good now. Had a little tiny snack. Got myself a single Tim Tam. I think we're good. I think we'll survive the rest of the stream. Probably because I had a really small dinner last night and I don't really eat breakfast. I just had this little like 70 calorie fiber bar thingy. That was all I had this morning, so that's probably part of why. Because I had a fairly big lunch, so I had a small dinner and then didn't really eat breakfast, so it's just been a while since I've eaten. Explain. Getting a little bit faint. It's getting late, Palace. We should split up and make our own preparations. Are you really sure about this, Titi? Yes. Ever since Ben we learned the harp was a fake, he's had it under guard by our retinue. He's not letting me get anywhere near it. He's definitely going to post more guards tonight, so nothing unexpected happens. It'll be a different story tomorrow when the exchange ceremony takes place. You'll have to leave it exposed in public, which is where we'll find our chance. Right. But what comes next? Next, the Sargonian government will probably give a formal apology about the whole affair, while sending more diplomats to discuss things with the Astonamos in private. On the outside, it will look like a Sargonian mission taking a Minoan national treasure and fleeing. But the people in charge of both nations will know that all they lost was a fake. That's not what my question was about, Titi. I want to know what happened to you. Me? I'll take the fake harp and Mio and leave via the ancient route. Can't go back to Hamet. Padishah Carey's guards would definitely chase me across the entire city. If I really do get caught, then it doesn't matter if it's by Ben Hui or Padishah Carey. Either one would most likely eliminate any inconvenient evidence, then push the blame onto Minos. I'll have to keep running. Only then would Sargon's lofty nobles not dare look too deeply into this burglary without authorization. What I'll carry away with me is just a fake heart, but the truth as well. Titi. Look, no trying to talk me out of it. I'm all for better ideas, believe me. I don't really want to carry a big heavy harp around Terra either. Go home, Palace. Let me be alone for a while. I'll see you tomorrow morning. Fine. I'll go drink. Titi leans against the back of a seat in the plaza and looks up. The night sky is always perfectly clear in Minos. A great boon to stargazers. It's this heavenly advantage that caused the ancient Minoans to associate their heroes with the position of the stars. She was young. Titi's father would look up at the stars and tell her the stories of these heroes. Some you can find in the history books, and for those with no source, perhaps they were simply cooked up by her underachieving bookworm of a father. Though illness took him from this land prematurely, Titi still remembers clearly every story he told her. Then those tales of Minos. Will she find one of an exiled hero carrying a fake harp? Countless stars sparkle in the dark sky. Titi does not find an answer. It's late. I clocked out a long time ago. Whatever it is. Oh. Alright, okay. It's late. It's late. I clocked out a long time ago. Whatever it is, it can wait until my shift tomorrow. It is I, Prometheus. Cassandra? Forgive me. I know you're resting at the moment. May I ask why you've deigned to visit me in the middle of the night? I wish to know if the Astanamos has told you anything regarding the theft involving Master Xanthos and his apprentice. I had called upon the Astanamos' office earlier to discuss the ceremonial play with her, and when I mentioned the case from a few days ago, she became evasive. The Astanamos most likely has her own concerns. It's the exchange ceremony tomorrow, after all. She not only has to deal with the entire process, but also the Sargonian delegation. Therein lies my worries. If the delegation were to ask for the case to be re-examined in the name of bilateral trust, as the Astanamos in charge of diplomacy, Lydia could hardly refuse. I could tell she was a little tense while we were talking, and her side desk had piles of Minoan law codices and incident investigation records. She most likely is already having her hand twisted by the envoy, which means the charges against Xanthos and his apprentice will only become more severe and... If it were not for your schoolmate's Aripathy nearing a crisis point, I do not believe there would be a Vulpo tail behind your sofa's armrest. How do you know that? How do you know? Maybe he just got huz. How do you know? We finally meet Lena Athapaulu, head of the Rhodes Island branch office. Yes, Cassandra. Xanthos and Lycon are her patients. She simply wished to give them their medicine while they're jailed, so she came to me for help. Came to you for help? This were an ordinary jailing. She'd have no difficulty in sending medicine to convicts if she so wished. Seems my conjectures were not too far from the mark. Lydia's really going to punish those too heavily to satisfy Sargon's demands. They've most likely already been moved to death row. I never thought the Terra Cassandra, dream interpreter of the Endymion Temple, would be so skilled in reasoning. You should know, Hakademos, that not even the Astynomos Grammateus can visit prisoners on death row, unless you entertain some very dangerous ideas, such as a jailbreak. I can't have Lycon and his master dying in prison from an Aripathy attack. Might have done wrong, but the punishment is too severe. You've not visited me tonight, Cassandra, and you do not know about the sentencing on this case. Did I ask you to help us keep things discreet? All the heroes are up in the sky watching us. They would not sit idly by and allow something so ridiculous to happen. Are you doing this to save lives as well, Lena? I am. I want to save my patients and save my sister. I understand she has ambitions as Astynomos, but she has burdens to bear too, and she cannot and she cannot keep making mistakes. There's no help word in there. The eyes of the people will be on the exchange ceremony tomorrow. I've already obtained the prison blueprints through personal connections, and I have a route. So long as we get them out, even if it's just to jab an emergency inhibitor into them, it'll be worth it. The route is not enough. You need someone to buy you time at both the Estonambus office and the prison. I'll go find Lydia. As for the prison, I can help you. Karios, you've said that nothing truly belongs to the Minoans, but how can that be?
The burden beasts we heard. You've seen them before. Scars and veils draped on their head we used to control what they see. Are they not a Sargonian invention?
I'm afraid you're off on the symbology of those scarves. Those are actually...
Don't try to give me something like they're a subtle reference to the scarves the Sargonians forced us to wear during the occupation. What difference is there between ridicule and praise? Are they both not marks they've left on Minoan culture?
I fail to see how you can conflate the two.
Still being stubborn, are you? Let's speak of the ground beneath our feet. More than 100 years ago, Minos spread its roots, drinking deep of this paradise of rivers, but now... Baddie Mala, queen of the far shore, gathered the engineers of Sargon and Minos alongside countless laborers, moving 3 Polea-top steel tracks. Thenios is far, far away from its former resting place.
That is indeed that's obvious sophistry. Even if the Sargonians had not come, we would have eventually moved our cities onto nomadic plates ourselves. It's the inevitable march of technology.
Yes, well said. Have you spent time with the Theros temple, boy? However, there is one point you've overlooked. The very language we're using in this debate right now is mixed. The old tongue of Minos was eroded away during the occupation. The modern Minoan language the priests work so hard to assemble. How many words do you think were taken from the nation you hate?
You!
Enough! You do not understand the man's meaning, Lyakon. There is no removing the scars of war. A truce does not mean everything is in the past. We can no longer fight the Minos in our hearts, for it no longer exists. We don't fight for the Minos in our hearts, for it no longer exists. You, with the helmet, you're actually somewhat interesting. Judging by your age, you could not have experienced the occupation yourself, but your words reveal a deep understanding of the period. Do not waste precious time guessing at the history of strangers. I'm just a tramp who doesn't care if he dies on the street or in prison. Once had a decent son, but he was stolen away by his dreams. Dreams. One morning, 9 years ago, he ran out of his room, shaking me out of my hand and hanging over, telling me he dreamed of a river and that he should set off. River running red with blood. I did not have to visit the priests of Enmidian Temple to understand its meaning. That boy was not trying to get away from me. He was thirsting for battle. He forgot what our ancestors had experienced. Forgot why his father is a useless drunken gambler. Divine revelation. A river red with blood. You are Itakosi's father?
Hey, Titi, why you back so late? I thought you were busy fleeing from justice. You might actually just have to flee from justice, Mio. We what? You spent all that time walking about to come up with this brilliant plan. You want me to suffer alongside you? Take the harp far, far away and place all the wrongs on one person's theft. It's the best way to resolve this I can think of. That's certainly not the best way, but it's definitely the most fucking Medjehtiqedti way. Huh? 3 weeks ago, when the delegation left Sargon, you said you wanted to experience the route Caracera took when going to Athenius for the first time. So you followed the ancient route, even though it was a massive pain. You could see Benwi's guards talking shit about you, but you didn't want to make a scene and you were worried they wouldn't treat the relic right, so you took that big heavy harp with you by yourself. Mr. Philosophical thinkers and deep night drinkers. Yeah. You know, hey, it just shows you can't judge a book by its cover. Plus, clearly that's what it was all meant to show in the end. Was that you can't judge a book by its cover. And there was that time a few months ago in Medjehtiqedti when you were helping that Pepe girl out of a bind. You went and poured an entire jug of wine all over yourself. We both know you spent a long time grumbling to me about that afterwards, saying stuff like how a curator's salary isn't enough for all that dry cleaning. But you didn't blame Pepe. After all, you believe this is what friends should do for each other. If all your best ideas keep ending up with you taking on the burden yourself, then you should just quit already. Hey, what's so funny, huh? Nothing, it's just that after hearing your words, I'm even more convinced I'm doing the right thing. Xanthos and Lyacon did not wish for a relic that's rightfully Minos' to be used as a diplomatic bargaining chip, so they stole it, bearing all the consequences. Oh, I saw X in my head. Oh my god, like Darman. I think you made a video on that. Oh my god. Mio will now always have that accent in my head. I hope he will. I hope he never gives up his proper way of speech. I might not understand their true intents, but I believe their deeds are worthy of being recorded in the tales of heroes. Right now I'm just a copycat. Don't dare assume I understand what makes someone a hero, but I want to write my own tale. Even if I can't be considered a real hero, even if the protagonist of this story can only run away. I never expected you to come to such a realization, Carrie Macher. Cassandra? Do not blame Xanthos and his apprentice who attempted to steal the harp. If it were not for their meddling, your cultural exchange would have gone smoothly, even if what you have is but a fake. How could I blame them? I have a feeling Benway will try to seize the initiative to pressure the Estanamos into handing down an unjust sentence, but it's those two who reveal the truth. If I can shift the focus on the issue onto myself by stealing the fake, and free both Xanthos and Lyacon, then it'll all be worth it. Wait, how do you know the harp or the Sargonian delegation brought is a replica? Please, come with me, Carrie Macher. Oh my god, we're back with Minecraft Steve head, man. We're back with the square head. There he is. Look at that. Now that's a square head. Really sure about leaving the village?
I'll be off at first light tomorrow. The fields have already been replowed. Plenty of seeds and grain in the storehouse has also been fixed. As for the ferrying, I've taught a few of the young ones. Don't worry.
I'm worried about you, Xanthos. Never left the marsh before. Now you want to run off with a distance, all to find a stranger?
Itakos is my brother. He's helped us all out before.
Been an entire year. Maybe he's already headed back to Athenius. That's where he's from. Makes sense.
The things he agreed to do, he will do. Once the war is over, he will return. He promised me.
Have you ever considered if he went off to fight the Sargonians?
Then I shall avenge him. I shall avenge the Minoans.
Northern Mountains of Minos. Guerrilla squad member. Okay, this is just another one of these type people. Don't get so worked up. You got the wrong guy. I'm really not sure Ithacos or whatever it was.
The one worked up is you, friend. I merely recognize the armor you wear. Belonged to Ithacos, my brother, before he left. Every family in our village donated leather and iron for it. I was the one who made that set of armor presentable. Forged him his weapon.
Forgive me. I've been battling for so long now. Big battles. Small ones, and it's been a long time since I had some proper sleep. My mind's...
Here, there's some calming herbal tea in this pot. Can you tell me who you got this armor from?
Another guerrilla friend. We ran to a skirmish. He took an arrow and before he died, he gave it to me. But his name wasn't Ithacos.
Phew.
You see all these marks on the armor? Must have passed through a lot of hands to get that many. You might not know this, but we guerrillas aren't like the Sargonian army. We're not well supplied. Everyone gathers weapons, armor, food, which get given out depending on the mission's priority. I'll tell you that fallen guerrilla's unit number, and that'll get you where you need to be. Oh, right. Let me give you the armor back first.
Keep it. It's still of use to you. Just telling me the way is enough, friend.
You insist, but are you sure you want to search the mountains? These mountains are our stomping grounds and where we battle the Sargonians.
Then I'll join you.
You ever seen a battlefield before?
Before all this, I only ever held oars and farm tools. But we have no other choice, do we?
Sorry, I don't remember the smiling, long-haired Forte you mentioned. As for those boots, I got given them when I joined the guerrillas. According to the friend who gave them to me, they belonged to a middle-aged guy who was missing a chunk of his left horn.
There's a hole in them.
Sorry, they're a little too small for me. I haven't had the time to mend them. Sargonians have been chasing us this entire time. They hadn't shown up to support us in the nick of time.
Sit down.
Huh?
I'll help you mend them.
So we're getting the Xanthos story now. That's like Kala, huh? You got such big hands, but you're nimble. How long you been one of us?
4 months. I came here to find someone. At first. Keep the boots. Fighting, marching, hiding, reorganizing. You bleed, you die, or you wipe your sword. You jump into the next battle. Days like these are long ones. It was the man who gave you these boots. Just point me the way, friend.
This is a newer Gorilla Squad member guy. He's got a slingshot. I knew this letter carved on the corner of the shield meant something. You're saying it's short for Ithacos, and you carved it? You spent half a year wandering the battlefield, staying with pretty much every one of our bands just to find this guy?
Seems you haven't done much. You don't have much you can tell me either.
Sorry, Xanthos. Also, I don't plan on giving this shield back to you. Look at how many blade marks are on it. These black marks. Sargonian arts can barely make a dent in it. I need to keep it. But let me protect more of our friends. Maybe even keep me alive long enough to go home one day.
If that is the case, then I couldn't be happier. Let the name Ithacos stay by our side. Our blood, our eyes, be witness to our victory.
This is where we part, my friend.
Just point me the way. It's all I ask. Try changing hands. Ithacos was left-handed, which I kept in mind when I made this arts unit for him.
I knew it. I knew something felt off about the power levels. It's already been a whole year, Xanthos.
Time flies. Swift as a melted river.
Already the most famous gorilla in the mountains. Fought the most fights. Walked the most battlefields. Everybody sings of your heroism. Are you really gonna keep searching for your brother?
I have no reason to stop. Like how you will not turn and leave the battlefield.
You're right.
Your accent. You're from Lactamon?
Sure am. Well, more specifically, hometown's on the route the Medjehtiqedti follows. It's a river valley. Absolutely beautiful in spring.
Told you about my hometown. Village Ithacos and I found it together. Tell me more about yours. Losing this war for over 100 years. Do not know how it will end. We should remember each other's hometowns. We should remember each other.
I'll be more than happy, my friend.
I'll continue my search tomorrow. Just point me the way, friend.
Why must I suffer the indignity of being tied to this tree, Minoan?
Like I said, answer my question.
Ithacos, Ithacos, Ithacos. Always about Ithacos. Fine, thaw's fake. I've had enough. 2 years ago, my troops met with Minoan guerrillas near here. They were escorting some wounded. I remember their ensign, matched the unit you mentioned. Wiped them out. That Ithacos you keep talking about should have been one of them. You happy now? Did you seriously set up an ambush for the sake of a battle 2 years ago so you could capture me and have your revenge? You're mad, Minoan. An absolute lunatic.
You might not believe me, but this is all just a coincidence. Before today, I was not thinking of finding Ithacos or killing his enemies. This battle is no different to the ones of the past year. No, the past century. You invade the land that doesn't belong to you, Sargonian. We have no choice but to defend our home.
Ithacos already long gone.
I've simply become accustomed to asking everyone I meet, have you seen Ithacos? Seen that smiling long-haired forte? From Athenius, but he has a South Country accent. Such a thing truly does mean I am, as you say, mad. I found his armor, his boots, his shield, his arts unit. He left behind on this wooded mountain. Everything he left behind in this wooded mountain, I have found. I have found him. I've never once thought you invaders would remember the name of every Minoan you met. Your parents hardly care about what every line of your book's merit actually means, do they? That said, Ithacos, remember this name. It's our passion, our love, and your crime. Your punishment. Now tell me, where was that battle exactly? Which of these furs was watered with the blood of Minos?
Xanthos looks up and sees countless Minoan firs, standing tall. The wind blows and the entire forest rustles. This land, these woods, they remember many things, but they do not speak. His brother, his friend, the youth who followed his revelation and left home. He died here. Somewhere, everywhere. Ithacos, countless Ithacoses, have left not even bones, all for the sake of the land beneath their feet. Xanthos lifts the giant oar in his hand. For an entire year it has forgotten the river's burble. Now all it can wet is the blood of his enemy. Smack.
Did you avenge Ithacos? No. Just as I was to smash the head of that Sargonian with my weapon, my friend stopped me, but the bugles cried out.
You never told me the campaign you experienced was
the final battle before Minos and Sargon signed the ceasefire. Minos, which had lost for 100 years, had finally won. That friend of mine desperately held back my hand. He had a broken leg, but he could still bring such strength to bear to rein me in. Then I saw his face full of tears, his eyes full of fear, not towards the Sargonians or towards me. I knew what he was so afraid of. He was afraid I would destroy this hard-won peace. He was afraid I would bring about new conflict, or extend this cruel war, where I would become like Ithacos, forever unable to return home. My pent-up rage and grief had nowhere to go. All I could do was watch the Sargonian officer kneel on the ground, numbly listening to the bugles, the same numbness I felt. It was the moment I knew the war will rage on in our bodies. It had begun, and it could never end. You are right. The Minos in my heart no longer exists. Died on the battlefield many years ago alongside the Ether coasters. But I will not allow the enemy to defile our land again. Not even if they had built this city. Not even if they had built this city? So even the textbooks say that nowadays. What do you mean? Ithacos went to your village so full of passion. Unlike me, he must have taught you many building techniques. Indeed. He renovated nearly every important building in the village. His techniques were passed down from his ancestors during the occupation. My own grandfather was pressed into service by the Sargonians to build the nomadic cities thanks to his mastery of engineering. What? The mobility layer of this Athenius might just be his handiwork. Forgive me, I was far too rude to you earlier. I not bow your head for that boy. I am not the engineer who built the nomadic cities. I don't have proof of how much our ancestors toiled building Athenius. All that data was taken away by the Sargonians.
The Sargonians wanted the Minoan engineer's data, but why?
Engineers' notes will always have something more than just jargon and modification blueprints. He had to keep track of the quantities of building materials while coordinating transport and construction teams. He was a meticulous planner of manpower. Remember the names of every worker. Not Sargonian workers, but the names of those from Minos, where they came from. How the Sargonians forced them to do their bidding.
Minoan workers? As I recall, current mainstream thinking is that the Padishah Mala did not use any Minoan workers for heavy labor while the three places were being built. Do you mean to say...
History was not written by us, not even our final victory.
There's evidence of wrongdoing. Evidence that should be shared with the public. Do you remember where those engineers' notes are?
Or should I know? That's the Sargonians. But those Sargonians are probably dead by now. Ask the Sargonians. The construction of the Tripoli. No!
What is it, Master?
The Sargonian mission is not using the exchange to obtain technical data, but rather the notes detailing proof of the Sargonian sins.
It was that all along. It was a sneaky, sneaky gambit. And we're back in the little back in the nice little house. Back in the nice little house scene. Look at that. It's very pretty. A lot of natural light flowing in through those doors / windows. Aripathy suppressants for 2. A few days have passed since their last injection. Give them a shot as soon as you see them to prevent an acute attack. The rest is standard medicine. This is a painkiller, these improve cardiovascular functions, this is for blood pressure, and this for regulating blood oxygen levels. Xanthos seems to be hiding his illness and may be unwilling to take medicine. Bring it anyway, and make him carry it any way you can. The Aripathy suppressant is mandatory. The rest depends on him. Alright, this all for Xanthos? What about Lyacon? Lyacon? Suppressant injections are the only thing that can be done at his current stage. It's that bad? It's not so bad. No need to worry, there's water and cheese pita for 3 in this bag. I'm not going on a picnic. Bring it anyway, you might get hungry. Don't worry, I also got you some good stuff. This box contains Sapharic incense pills just in case. Make sure you stand upwind when you use it or you'll put yourself to sleep. Area Paolo. I thought we had already made the arrangements. Cassandra's obtained the schedule of the jailer shifts. The Cinemas' office has a duplicate key for the jail door and shackles, and I made my own duplicate. It was careless of Lydia to leave them on the table. There hasn't been a prison breakout in ages, so security isn't particularly strict. I'll find the right time, go in, get them out. Shouldn't run into any issues. There's no need to be overly nervous. I know. It's what happens afterwards that I'm thinking about. You're worried you can't distract Lydia, or are you worried about your future? I'm the one who's actually carrying out the prison break. Lydia is likely to find out about your participation. It may obstruct your company's efforts to develop your Athenian office. Xanthos and Lyacon are my patients, even though one of them isn't the most cooperative. When I made the decision to become a doctor, I also made the decision that I would not leave any patient behind. Some things that have to be done, no matter the price. It's Lydia who I'm really worried about. I need to talk to her. Don't worry about me, but you? Don't worry about me. Nothing left for me here. The only reason I didn't quit was I was waiting for Lydia to fire me so that I could collect my severance. Not getting it is my only regret. I'm more excited than anxious about leaving this nomadic city for broader horizons. I heard you were once forced to leave Athenius, Gareth Apollo. Perhaps you understand the feeling. Yes, I do. Your situation now is much like mine back then. Things will get better for you, I promise. Just as it got better for me.
We need to find a way out of here. We can't just sit here and wait.
Yes, we need to get Lena to look at you, your health.
My health is not important. The relic exchange ceremony takes place this afternoon. If the Sargonians are allowed to take the engineering notes from the 3 Pole, they'll be able to dictate how history is told. This must be stopped. Hold it, Xanthos. Ephoripathy. Me and the Sargonian border contracted the disease in the conflict just like you. Yes. Many lost their homes, their livelihoods. She found your footing after coming to Athenius. Got a new life. Why do you want to get involved in such things? Maybe it's because I have ephoripathy. I don't have much time left. I must spend what little I have on things that are more meaningful. Then you're just another Minoan bound by the heroic dream. I don't think about those things. Ephoripathy saps the heroic spirit. I've not had the heroic dream ever since I left my homeland. Is that so? Who could have imagined? Ithacos found a good friend out on the borderlands. The gods change shifts in 15 minutes. That's your opportunity to get out. Go out the door and turn left. Take a second right turn and go right every time you see a crossroads after that. Remember, at the crossroads, don't turn left. Shouldn't see any gods if you get out within 5 minutes. You'll eventually find yourselves in the kitchen. Should be empty at this hour. You can get out from there. Alright, the shackles. Come over. I'll unlock them. Why? Why don't I leave? My situation's a little different. Not everyone in this prison is scheduled for the death sentence. Some need to be locked up until the day they die like me. Why should I leave when I don't have to worry about room and board? What difference is there anywhere on Terra? But you want to ask why I made these preparations? Came in useful right now, didn't it? There. Thank you. You're welcome. I don't know what you're planning when you get out, but I doubt there'll be a place for you in this city anymore. I don't suppose we'll meet again.
Discovering a Terra that doesn't exist.
Ithacos died for his heroic dream. Divine revelation had shown his future. None of us could stop it. But you're not the same. I haven't received your divine revelation yet, perhaps in the distant future. Until then, live well.
All this stone, these incomplete statues, these scaffolds, why are they still here? I know your people are lazy, but I just really be so shockingly inefficient. And where's that Astinimos of yours? She's the one who should be receiving me here. We've already discussed the ceremony with Titi. A space has been cleared for the ceremony, the speakers and spotlights have been set up, and signs have been placed around the audience seats. We've completed all the necessary preparations. The things you noted are not. Medjehtiqedti. She's nowhere to be seen. I'm in charge of the Sargoni mission now, and it's my needs you must attend to. And I think your preparations are entirely inadequate for someone as important as the exchange of relics between Sargon and Minos. As you said, it's an important ceremony, and we'll do everything in our power in the remaining time to make the venue as perfect as possible. However, I must also put a question to you. What is the condition of the relic you're handing over, which is of paramount importance to Minoans in the First Temple? The Harp of Caracera. I heard it suffered a serious fall a few days ago at the dock. I thought your delegation intends to repair it. Are the repairs complete? And I'm curious. I don't know how your predecessor came to such an agreement. Does the agreement include an appraisal as well? You're overstepping, Pallas. We have an accord with the Astinimos. This will be a massive occasion. She informs me the priests from Lactamon and Corinia will be in attendance as well. This is unprecedented publicity for you and your temple. You should focus your full efforts on the preparations. You do not need to worry about anything else. You're right. I look forward to the event in the afternoon. We'll do some crazy shit. That Sargonian has his nose in the air, doesn't he? I'm surprised you didn't punch him. All your plans in motion and you're just watching the clown make a fool of himself. Clown? Are you talking about yourself? You've been Athenius for too long, Corinian. The apples of the Athenian orchards are exporting to Corinia have already been packaged into boxes. Why are you still here? I'm a priest of Corinia. It's my job to attend certain important occasions. In addition to business dealings, I'm here at your Astinimos' invitation. Besides, to a Corinian, a transaction that's already been settled belongs in the past. The important thing is to seek opportunity for the future. Is that why you keep sniffing around like a musbeast in a ditch? What favors did Lydia promise you? Is there anything you won't sell for the right price? Your dignity, your conscience, even your soul? Everything is for sale if you can afford it. You know the one Shoe Brother? Or, sorry, not Shoe Brother, but the one that's close to Shoe. The Swee Brother, he's close to Shoe. I'm basically that guy, but Greek. Rather than pay so much attention to me, I suggest you spend it on people who are not here. You mean the Astinamos? It's true that she and her grandmother should be here, but neither are. Perhaps they've been sidetracked by private matters. It's someone else who I'm talking about. As the Sargonian said, the Astinamos invited priests from the other Poleis. The guest from Kurdi is standing in front of you, but where's the priestess from Lacedaemon? Think about it. A Lacedaemonian, stubborn, obstinate, serious barbarian for whom violence is the only answer to any problem. As far as I know, this particular Lacedaemonian was born in Athenius, but she was taken to Lacedaemon from a young age for reasons unknown and grew up in a temple there. Which were certain elements of Athenius, perhaps a kind of memento, was brought up with an orthodox Lacedaemonian temple education. The three-time reigning champion of the Lacedaemon Pancration, and the youngest priest in the city's history, having graduated top of her class. I'm curious, how would such a remarkable figure react if she saw an unexpected scene of chaos? This is the real reason why I stayed. Good timing. Take over for me for a moment. We need someone who can be in charge. I better find Titi. I coastal information out of the Sargonian deputy. Apparently her plan to steal the harp was unsuccessful. I'm worried for her. If she failed, I'll spill the beans at the ceremony. We have to discuss how to proceed after that. Problem is that I don't know where she is. She wasn't at the hotel. She's at the Beast ranch on the outskirts. Ranch? Why? Go and find her. Maybe you'll witness a miracle. Find all those things you were worrying about are not a problem anymore. Don't forget what I said to you last night.
Oh, I think someone's coming, Master. Did we take a wrong turn? I don't think so. Just one person, I think. We've come too far to give up now. Go out in the corner. When they pass, knock them out and throw them into an empty cell.
Okay.
Cover their mouth and don't let them make a sound.
How should I talk to him when I see him? Whoa! Who are you? What are you doing here? Oh, finally got out. Let's hide here for now.
Thank you.
Don't mention it. Just glad to get you safely out of there. Next part's the hard part. I have to take you to the ancient route. Cassandra has your documents and luggage waiting there. We need to be careful and avoid drawing attention to ourselves. Let's hope it takes a while for the jailers to notice.
Cassandra.
She was very worried about you. Do you want to say goodbye to her before leaving? I can understand, but she's at the first temple right now where all eyes are on. It'll be difficult. Let me think. Movement over there. Jailers found out so quickly? I don't think so. Sounds like the crying of a beast. Burn beast! What are burn beasts doing in the city? Whoa! The burn beasts are coming straight for us! Master! They're coming right for us! What is gonna happen in that subplot? Titi said the harp the Sargonians brought was fake. You're not surprised? I'll talk to you about it later. It's you whom I'm looking for. You've been relying on her to handle the Festival's matters for you the past few days. I thought we already talked about this. Who's in charge is not important. But she can't replace a priest. Only the priests have full knowledge of the heroes that a temple venerinates, the ceremony to invite them, and the ceremonial plays. Only a priest can gather the spirit of the heroes during a performance. You're the only one who can do it for Kersera's first temple. No one can do it in your stead, not even me. Stop running, Palace. I know, I wasn't gonna run from my responsibility the day I made the decision to return to Minos. She does worry, doesn't she? I should buy her a round of drinks after everything's done. What did she discuss with Titi last night anyway? I forgot to ask. What was this miracle she was talking about? I finally understand the meaning of the idiom, suffering is the price of wisdom. I didn't feel that way when I was a priest, but now I fully understand how irritating their habit of speaking riddles is. What exactly is Titi doing at the Burn Beast Ranch anyway?
Palace, look out!
The beasts have arrived! It began as a distant roar, growl, as Pallas rides at a steady pace on the street. Then she sees the distant movement close in rapidly, becoming a herd of rampaging burden beasts. Dozens of burden beasts charge through the streets with unstoppable momentum, leaving peace officers and herders in the dust, like pedestrians and saws flying. Beware the scarf for the bird and beast ranch on the outside. Where Cassandra said Titi was at. Something seems to have frightened these normally docile creatures as they form a tidal wave that rushes in the opposite direction from the ranch. The bird beats at the rear of the stampede. There's something on its horn. Is that a hawk? Could it be Caracera's? Is this the miracle that Cassandra was talking about? And there's Pallas being nearly killed by the rampage of beasts. Alright. Oh. Back to early before returning. Lena. Does Lycanian thin-tailed grass have a single leaves or compound leaves? No idea. There's several methods for extracting red velvet mallow essence. Which one's the most effective at retaining its soothing properties? No idea. This Sporania that you planted, all I did was help you shovel the soil. I have no idea why you planted or how. You'll be tested on all these things, Lydia. The Ethopalu family has venerated Flora the hero for generations, conducting plant-related work such as those associated with perfumes, medicinal herbs, and plant breeding. The elders are very serious about this legacy. You'll have to participate in the traditional heir selection ceremony in a few years. You need to remember these things. Everyone knows you're the heir to the Ethopalu family. And Casteros can't stop talking about how proud he is of his daughter. He'll declare you the Flora of Ethopalu any day now. I know my father hasn't been fair towards you. He's already shown as much kindness as possible by taking me in after my parents passed away. Besides, you know I have no interest in plants. Father has scheduled a test for next week. You'll be punished again if you fail. I peeked into Uncle Steris' notebook. The time office has been disappointing. I expect to be going to Corinia soon in order to find suppliers to meet the shortfall. Corinia? He didn't say anything. Crouching in the garden again, Lena. I'm going on a week-long trip. Take care of yourself and Lydia while I'm away. Wow. See, there's certain things I'm good at, just like you're good at plants and perfumes. Help! Somebody! Anybody! Some's got a tradition. Why did Ethopalu have to do this selection ceremony out here in the middle of nowhere? Who finds the rarest plant is the one favored by Flora? Ridiculous. Someone's hurt. Need a doctor and emergency inhibitors. You'll hurt your throat shouting like that, Lydia. Carrying me is hot enough as it is. Put me down. Well, you can help by throwing away that big heavy plant. There's no one more suited to being the heir of House Ethopalu with or without it. I know, it doesn't mean anything to me now. The flow of Ethopalu cannot be infected. Father will never accept it. I'll probably have to leave Athenius as soon as we get back. You don't need the approval of that bastard. If he's so cruel as to cast aside his own daughter, the family needs an heir. Write it down. Lydia, Bourgenalis, Bourgenese, Senos Glossariae, Mysotosis. What do you mean? Don't tell me about it, lad. I don't want to know. Instructions are unclear. My terrorist phone became Planet Amia 2. The second Amia nation has been established, and it will cover the entire globe. Listen to me. It's a common plant across Terra, but it's only known to grow around marshes, and it's never been found in Minos. It reminded me of you. You dislike the family tradition, and you have no interest in plants or herbs. That's not like Ethopalu as can be, but you're observant, and you're a good communicator. You'll make a good heir. That's your place. I don't want it. Let's make a bet, shall we? Just like when we were little. Take care of this rare plant for me. If the elders have no issue with my condition, then I'll never make you come with me to that boring garden ever again. But if Father shows disgust toward my wounds, you must claim to have found this big, heavy plant. Don't worry, Lydia. No one will bully you anymore. Not even my father once you become the heir. With you, the Ethopalu family will be in good hands. Lydia, why do you ask me to come to this public garden? I don't think there's any need for us to reminisce about old times. If you have something to say, say it. I have a lot waiting for me to do. The exchange ceremony is about to begin. Besides verifying the guest list, making sure the ceremony goes smoothly, you must announce to Athenius that Xanthos and Laicon have been found guilty of treason for the intentional theft and destruction of a Minoan national treasure. Not satisfied with turning from perfumer to doctor, are you making another career change to defense attorney? This is a critical juncture for the relationship between the two nations. I cannot allow an ill-planted, impetuous theft to destroy everything. A century of war didn't destroy Minos. Are you working for the interests of the people of Athenios or to protect your own position as Astynamos? A cliched moral dilemma. Of course I want to protect my position as this Dynamos. How do you think Rhodes Island managed to establish an office in Athenius in such a short time? Priests buried in ancient tomes, the chaotic council, the convoluted voting process. You would have waited an entire year if you followed the traditional process. Cuirassiers' first temple and following the old ways? What a joke. How could the place be ready for today's exchange ceremony if the Sargonian girl hadn't intervened to push the final phase through with modern, effective project management? Project Lydia when? Hopefully never. Are you kidding me? Like, Cassandra's over here as an NPC from this event. I'd rather she joins. I'd much rather it was her. So you judged everything with your scales, not caring the weights you're using are real people? Do you believe that everything must give way to people, then? I'll do everything I can to find a solution before things get to the point of no return. My colleagues and friends will walk together with me, no matter how treacherous the path. As for your question, I'm a doctor, Lydia. It's the basis of everything I do. The beasts! The ground beneath them trembles, the sound of howling approaches. Dozens of burden beasts jump through the fences and benches, stampeding through the public garden. The herd steps upon the spacious grass, running towards the tall building in the distance, seemingly quite sure of their destination. In the frenzied stampede, a young burden beast is drawn to something to the side. Two solemn human figures reflect in its wet, curious eyes, but it quickly loses interest in them, catching up with the herd and leaving only a drifting flower petals behind. A scent of flowers surrounds the two Anthropolus. Their keen sense of smell, honed by rigorous training from a young age, allows them to easily identify the damaged flowers, but not the true thoughts of their counterparts. Neither of us could ever change the other's mind. It's been this way since we were little. There's a question I always wanted to ask you. What makes you so great, Lena Athopoulou? Lydia? You approached a girl that all the Athopoulos disliked, took her to your favorite garden, and taught her knowledge about plants that she had no interest in, all of it on your own. You gave her the plant that determined the family's heir, thought the family was in good hands, and left Athenius, again, all of it on your own. I'm one of those who made sure the statues are all destroyed in ME8. You have to, Boldbra. You have to. It doesn't let you win without destroying them all. So when I heard the statues, yeah, Laffy, and both can be true. Both can be true. Why not? Why can't both be true? I see no reason. You never cared about what I was good at. It never occurred to you that I stayed with the Ethopolo family, not out of any sense of responsibility or for the heir's position. I didn't dislike the garden, Lena. But you chose not to keep it. You chose to take it back from the family after it fell on hard times, turning it into a public facility. That's our fundamental difference. You hate the name Athopolo as much as I do, but you're always looking backwards, even trying to get it back, while I never look back. I know you asked me to come here for the sake of the two prisoners. Maybe you're trying to delay me, or maybe you have some other plan in mind. After I became the heir to the family, it took me another 2 years to cast the mantle aside. Only now do I have the chance to do what I really wanted to. As you said, though, no one bullied me during that time. Played along with your game for 10 minutes. It's my final gift to you. I owe you nothing now, Lena. I see. Wow, you're a bitch, you know that? You're a fucking cunt. You're an asshole. Lyria Volvo gazes at Lena's departing figure. She'd imagined the reunion before Lena returned to Athenius. Afterwards, she'd imagined their parting. Never before had she been so acutely conscious that they were going to part ways forever. The woman before her is no longer a foster sister who took care of her. Lena who gently but insistently instilled botanical knowledge in her. Lena's the Rhodes Island operator now. She has her own dreams and aspirations. Her own home that she will go back to. Her own family that loves and supports her. None of it has anything to do with Lydia. Suddenly, a thought without any basis whatsoever came to Lydia's mind. Even if Lena remains in Athenius and continues to work to develop an neuropathy treatment system and continues to have dealings with the Cinemus' office, this will be the last time she ever sees Lena ever again. Won't be realizing any more Minos is saved for now. The Minos birth rate declining because everybody just wants the questioning statues. It's a crazy ploy. Phew, we should be safe from the burn beasts here. Where's Master Xanthos? I think I saw him enter the first temple to say goodbye to Cassandra, probably. Find a way to meet up with him, don't worry. Why are there stampeding burn beasts on the street? Aren't you a student with Grammatis? Should be fine. Sorry. Sorry for the burp, chat. Sorry for the burp. Excuse me. There are already peace officers heading that way. They'll take care of it. This stuff's none of my business anymore. I resigned. To rescue Master Santos me from prison? That's not necessary. You want to say you could have gotten out on your own, right? Well, it doesn't matter. I was planning to quit anyway. What exactly is your plan like on? I don't know what you're talking about. Please, you never passed your classical drama courses, and it shows. You had the exact same expression on your face when you submitted your withdrawal from preschool after contracting erypathy. The day before the debate contest, and we were practicing archery as usual. You were a much better archer than I was. I was pissed and intentionally fired a shot into the distance with your bow. Accident happened when you were looking for the arrow. I carried you down the mountain and ran to Xanthos. He ferried us the best erypathy doctor available, but you got infected in the end. So we missed our 7th debate contest, but we're broken our 3-3 tie. Is this really the time to talk about this? Since when did Minoans need the right time to debate? In the halls of Theros Temple, on the streets of drunkards and gamblers, everywhere is fair game. Thought you'd only be down for a day or two. We'll be back in the competition in a couple of years, but you just ran away. Never decided the winner all these years. About time you gave me back this last debate, Lycon. What's the topic? Let's say whether an infected can become a hero. Academos, it's inappropriate. Why? It's a topic you're intimately familiar with. Erypathy saps the heroic spirit. It's conventional wisdom that we all take for granted. When a child questions it, he or she is quickly put down by the elders who cite various heroic legends. There are no known heroes with erypathy in the legends, no depictions of Originium crystals on temple statues. Therefore you, a student who aspired to be a hero, gave up on becoming a priest before the rules had a chance to become an obstacle. Your every deed is representative of your position on this topic. Don't bother trying to provoke me. We both know there's no chance I'll lose this debate. I thought about starting over. Master Santos encouraged me, but I realized that someone who knows he has no future cannot commit himself to anything. Regular suppressant injections, a regular lifestyle, and the newest Rhodes Island treatment may make the patient live longer, but I'm not satisfied with just living. It seems to be the only thing I can do, and I feel nothing but shame about it. The worst thing about erypathy is not only physical torment, but the inevitable deadline that it sets for all dreams and aspirations. Statues are next. All statues. All statues must be destroyed. Even if erypathy doesn't sap the heroic spirit, even if you become a priest after becoming infected, even if the door to becoming a hero used to be open once, door is closed now, do you understand? I see. In that case, I win this last debate. Who said the debate's over? What? You demonstrate your position with your actions. I shall do the same, Lycon. I'll make you a hero of Minos. You any idea what you're saying? There's no other way to get you to admit defeat, is there? Xanthos could encourage you, or the deeds of other infected could move you, but deep down, you'd not admit that being infected or not has nothing to do with one's heroic spirit. In that case, the simplest way is to make a hero out of you. I already quit my job. Wherever you go now, I'll follow and do everything to make you keep on living. Make you meet more people, make you be a part of important things. What is this? Some newfangled punishment? What do you get out of it? You know I was never the most motivated guy. I grew up that guy who always punches it out exactly on time and never breaks a sweat when he could help it. Heroes are way too far from my life, and I don't want to become like them, no matter how glorious it might seem. I'll make a hero out of you. A true hero. One barrier recognizes us for what's in it for me. I get to win our last debate. That's all I want. You're out of your mind. Thanks for the compliment. I'll take that as a yes. No, but you're late stage, aren't you? It's a pretty big disadvantage for me. Is it true that you have difficulty seeing and you get dizzy easily? What are you talking about? I'm just mildly infected. I don't have those kinds of symptoms. Mildly infected? But you keep going to the Rhodes Island clinic. Your anthropologist had to pay you a home visit and you rammed the hotel kitchen because you couldn't see the stop sign clearly. You've got it all wrong. It's Master Xanthos whose condition is serious. Xanthos? We never had a plan, Takademos. Xanthos broke out of prison with me because he still wanted to do something that was worthwhile to him while he could, even if the price is his life. You shouldn't have come here, Xanthos. People are gathering at the temple. You might have been able to avoid the crowd when you came, but it's going to be much harder to leave. Go, now.
I came to say goodbye. I don't think we'll meet again.
Whether the farewell is face-to-face or not doesn't matter. What matters is you're at peace. Go back to your homeland, Xanthos. Go and see that old river, even if it's dried up. The melted snow always flows down from the mountains. Maybe another water source nourishes your homeland now.
I know. The priestess of Enmeon watches over all our souls. You always give us false hope.
Remember the day you first came to Athenius? It was a rainy night and you walked into my temple with Ithacos' bloody Titan. We were downtrodden and lost. She told me about your promise with him when he went to war. Imagine yourself ferrying him to the temple on the other side of the city, on the Delphi Canal. It was the flame of hope, faint and weak, but burning nonetheless. It's not a false hope that I instilled, it's a real hope, burning inside your heart.
It was real.
It still is. Only that I'd hoped you would nourish it with life, but it grew into something else as you ruminated over it. And maybe this guy is goated? Kinda. I like the two priest dudes. They're cool. They're very clearly different. They very clearly like represent very different things. And it is kind of like one is clearly very like by the book, and he's the one who's infected, so he's like, yeah, I just gotta give up. Whereas like the other guy, if he got infected, bro probably would have still tried, because like, bro, it would what a hassle it would be to go and fully like change your life and everything. And bro just ain't about that hassle. He would have like the Rosa Parks manner of it, where it's the like not moving from the seat on the bus, not necessarily to make a big statement, because you're tired, because you had a long day, because you just shouldn't have to. Yeah, so it's like that type of thing. Where I think that guy, where I think, you know, the other guy, the Agademos, would make that type of protest, where it's just I don't it's not right that I shouldn't have to, that I should be fucked over by the infection, and I don't feel like changing all of my life for this. There was a say they're gonna be on the next April Fool's unit. I read that as Dagon at first, Laffy. I want you to know. It is very sad how that disgusting creature has taken certain things.
What about these Argonians?
I know you think about the exchange ceremony. Divine Revelation has already made arrangements. When the harp that belongs to Minos sings its song again, the people will once again be united, and Caracera shall drive out the Outlanders.
Divine Revelation again. There was always a question that I wanted to ask. What is Divine Revelation? How does it get people to willingly go to their deaths?
It's the power of faith and belief. It's the accumulation of 1,000 years of dreaming about heroes. Thing that makes Minoans Minoan. We do not have gods in the sense that the Outlanders use. Our gods are our heroes, each and every one of them. Our hero Caracera was once an ordinary woman. It was the guidance of divine revelation that led her to sing the songs of heroes, unite the suffering Minoans on the path that leads to where we are today. Divine revelation represents your deepest desires. Believe in it, and it will guide your path and make you a hero.
Do you mean that Ithacos longed for death?
I should probably move this a little bit. Oh, wait. Come on. Zoom out, zoom out, zoom out. Zoom out. Zoom out. Zoom out. Go on. Zoom out. Zoom out. Zoom out. Come on. Zoom it out. Zoom it out. There we go. Now you got Cassandra. Now you've got the statue. Epic. 9 years ago, Ithacos came to the temple and asked me if his dream of a river running red with blood was divine revelation. I wanted to say no and tell him not to go, but I couldn't do it. Divine revelation poured forth from my tongue. I could not stop it or alter it, because it was not my place to deny someone else their most earnest desire. As for Ithacos, the blood and tears shed in the construction of the nomadic city of Athenius run deep in his bloodline. It was ever in his mind, even when we served the temple together. He sought a way out for his soul, a place beyond Athenius he could build and protect. But death was the inevitable price for his wish.
Perhaps you're telling the truth, but I have a hard time accepting it.
I know. Suffering rages in your blood. Pale words cannot soothe. Nothing I say can truly excite you, but I wish you could... It's been 5 years since you came to Athenius. 5 years since we met. You spend most of your time at the river. You never come to the temple, and we rarely see each other except in front of Ithacos' grave.
I never needed the guidance of a priest.
But I was always watching you. You were Ithacos' friend, the last trace that his life left behind. I could find some small comfort if you lived well. There's one little bit of selfishness I allowed myself, outside of my duties as a priestess. I watched you acclimate to Athenius's rivers. Watched you take in an apprentice. Watched the two of you go about your days together. Lycon is an honest, serious boy. It made my heart at ease that he was taking care of you. Empty words could not comfort you. What about these details of life? Have you not found comfort in it, even if for an instant? Was Athenius everything you thought it would be? It must have been something that was better than you expected, wasn't there?
Maybe.
Then go think back to it. Think back to your past. And think about whether you've forgotten anything that was more important. You need to live well, even if only for Ithacos' sake. I hear something outside. I need to take a look. The hour is near, Xanthos. Leave quickly and avoid the crowds. The temple's so big. How do I get the audience seats of the theater from here? Isn't this the short one? Yeah, this is the little short ass. That Cornian priest with the long name said he was going first. Was it going away for a moment? Is he coming back? What do I do? That sound. The beasts. Huh? Celery, onion, eggplant, wait for me. Not a single bird beast responded to me the whole way from the ranch to the city. What's going on? Did something frighten you? Tomato, were you waiting for me at the rear of the herd? Guess the extra care I gave you was worth it. Just give me a moment to catch my breath. Oh, Tomato! Tomato, come back! Wait for me! There are a lot of people in this city. It's dangerous to run around like this. Besides, it's rude to run and make noise in Karasera's temple. That's right. Good one. The bird and beast, they've stopped. She was gently put her fingers on the bird and beast's head. Even cauliflower is normally the grumpiest. They say that even bird and beast could understand the music that Karasera played on her harp. I thought it was just legend. Convinced myself it must be. I don't actually meet someone who could talk to bird and beast for real. Who are you? How do you talk to bird and beast? Can you teach me? Talk? All you need to do is open your mouth. You can do it, can't you? No, what I meant is how the bird and bees understand what you're saying. They don't. At least, I don't think they do. The girl lifts the finger that was on Colorado's sword. The angry bird and beast immediately lowers its shoulders and stomps its hoof, preparing to charge. The girl puts her fingers back. You still have strength left. Impressive. Are you the herder? Give me another minute. She'll settle down when she's out of energy. I guess the herd will calm down once the leader does. You just overpowered Cauliflower with a single finger so easily? Usually takes 4 or 5 strong guys to keep her down. And even that's not a guarantee. Name's Cauliflower? Nice name. Suits you well. The tile beneath Cauliflower's feet is cracking. Alright, that should do it. Girl, let's go. And Cauliflower's knees buckle as she lies down on the ground. And the girl does the rest of Cauliflower's herd one by one, calming all the bird and beasts in no time. That's the last one, huh? What's that on your horn? Thank you for your assistance, our distinguished guest, Siniska, honored priestess of Lacedaemon. As for the harp you're holding, please give it to me. It is the harp of Karasera, belonging to the first temple, which we've been waiting for. Titi! Found you at last! Did you follow the stampede of bird and beasts to the temple? What happened at the ranch? I just fell asleep at the ranch last night. I heard a huge commotion before Mio woke me up and I saw the harp was gone. I saw the bird and beasts running down the hill, so I followed them back and ended up here. Was it the bird and beasts that brought the harp back to the square? Yes, this is a miracle we've been waiting for. The true harp of Karasera. The only thing's missing for the ceremony is the play. It isn't so hard. I memorized the Kasera roles in all the plays. If we settle the program, we can find people to play the rest of the roles. About that, I'd like to select the play for the ceremony in my capacity as supervisor of the first temple's completion. Why are you so serious all of a sudden? What's the play you have in mind? Karasera and the Outlander. You mean the play that was banned for political reasons and afterwards remained unperformed even after the ban was lifted because no one wanted to play the role of the Outlander? Just in case the audience needed a quick refresher, this was mentioned earlier, but just in case the audience needed a quick expedition dump refresher, I say all of this. Yes, it used to be the most popular classical play used in traditional ceremonies. I'll play the role of the Outlander. You don't need to do this, we all know how kind-hearted you are. No, I want to do it. I thought long and hard about it last night and realized this was my responsibility as a Sargonian here and now. Such beauty! The the warm winds welcome the gentle waters of Delphi through the mountains. Upon ruin and rubble we have built our temple. Now the sacred flame burns bright in the fragrance of flowers and incense. I'm a little sad they didn't, like, make a couple sprites that are, like, with Pallas's, like, skin. They're, like, similar to Pallas's skin, because I think that would be, like, really cool for this. The one where she has, like, the white kind of robe toga thing. Upon ruin and rubble we built our own temple. Now the sacred flame burns bright in the fragrance of flowers and incense. The songs and legends of heroes have given us courage to gather here this beautiful day. Remember how greedy outlanders invaded our land, enslaved us and silenced the song of all. But our faith held strong. The outlanders could not break our will, nor chain our free souls. We, the people of Minos, formed in union, our faith and will victorious. Now we drive the last outlander from our soil. She recites the land. Pallas seems to see the old first temple and the mountain-rimmed gardens through Caracera's own eyes. Once the people who had lost hearth and home gathered before Caracera, just as the citizens of Athenius gathered before Pallas now, sitting and standing. They're all holding their breaths, waiting for the most important moment. The moment that comforts the hearts of all Minoans, and shows them that the long night and nightmare have passed. The beautiful future that the divine revelations and heroic stories spoke of lies before them. The last outlander is here. Her heart beating wildly, Titi steps on stage, slowly but firmly. It's what she has chosen, her play and her role. There are words she must say, things she must do. I repent for all that was done by us, our fathers and their fathers before them. We trod upon soil that was never ours, whether by choice or under the guise of compulsion, out of greed and baseness, out of fear and cowardice. The hands that should have nurtured families tore the families of others apart. Spears that should have protected their own nation were pointed at innocents. We must pay for all that we've done. Your dagger, my lady. Caracera picks up the executional dagger. The weapon has accompanied Caracera ever since she hung her harp on the laurel tree. Here's the fighting taking a toll in the form of chipping across the blade. The tip remains sharp enough to take a life. Elena relaxes as Caracera prepares to make her move. As dramatic music begins to play, Pallas, playing Caracera, hesitates a little. Titi suddenly recalls the soldier who gave the blade to Caracera. His face was covered, his figure unfamiliar, his motions somewhat halting. Was he one of the actors that she picked for the play? Titi begins to feel unsure. The stage of theater is wide and empty. The audience seems so far away, but Titi can hear their clamor. Are they excited about the play? Bada bing. The final scene. Kill her! Make the invaders pay! Or was it for the Sargonian standing before them in the theater? He looks up at the dagger in Pallas' hand. The tip of the blade, which should have been made of rubber, reflects a metallic gleam in the sun. Uh-oh. All must end here. Only then can we retrieve the heart from the laurel tree, drink fine wine, and return to the mountains and land that nourished us. The play must go on. She must believe. Believe in her friend, in the heroic spirit of Minoans. Titi closes her eyes. What the fuck? Despicable deception, disgrace. Have you no pride, Minoans? Have you no honor on your face? Have you no heroic spirit? Actor die? I mean, that is how the first guy dies in Actor Die. It falls silent. They slowly part to let a tall figure through, walking towards the stage with dignity and resolve. He walks on stage and kicks at him instead of standing his way to one side. Oh shit.
Despicable disgrace. Have you no pride? Is this guy? Have you no pride, no honor? Have you lost? Swapping the dagger to make a murder look like an accident. Since when did Minoans learn such underhanded methods?
Now that is what I wanted to see. A surprise. Something unexpected. Of course, it would have been interesting too if you hadn't held yourself back. Athenius' business should be handled by the citizens of Athenius. We should trust Pallas, even if this man didn't make an appearance. Please make excuse for my impetuousness.
Astonimus, what in the Padish's name is going on? It's an insult to have a Sargonian play such a denigrating role. And what do the men mean when we talk about the dagger? As an emissary of Sargon, I cannot allow. Kindly collect yourself, Carius Benway. It was Carius Masher's own decision to play the role. It's hardly becoming of an emissary to shout like this during such an important occasion when the dust is yet to settle. Xanthos, so you never left Athenius. Xanthos remembers the day when he raised his oar to the Sargonian he tied to the tree, and he'd heard the horn of victory coming through the foothills, and the joyful livery brought news of truce. The frightened Sargonian stumbled and fell as he fled. Xanthos' comrades held him back and prevented him from killing his prisoner. Slowly but surely, resentment began to build within his heart. Life and vitality were gone from the soil of his homeland, but the marks the Sargonians left behind linger. Their banners, their landmines, the dam they built, which killed the river, became an indelible scar upon the land. He saw many Sargonians make a hurried retreat toward the border on his way to Athenius. He never joined the Minoans who threw rocks and spat at them, because it was not enough. Athenius, he rode his ferry on the Delphi Canal day after day, much of the ebb and flow of the canal, but he could not keep the river of his own heart in check. Rage rolled in his heart, seeking an opening. Now the opportunity he had waited for so long had finally come. He clutches his oar.
I, a criminal thrown into the death cell awaiting trial, have waited an eternity for this moment. No matter what punishment awaits me for all these reasons, I will stand before the Sargonians and my own people with nothing to hide, and ask my questions of you.
The audience is hushed. Even the haughty Sargonian deputy sounds silent.
I lost my home and my dearest friend in the war. I followed these tracks and saw countless of our own death story along the way. The dreams we once had were trampled underfoot by the invaders, never to be revealed. Why, I ask the invaders, did you set foot on this land that did not belong to you? And what makes you think you can shamelessly come to Athenius just a few years after the truth, acting like nothing has ever happened?
Looked up at the two people in the middle of the stage. The Sargonian woman opens her mouth, and Pallas closes it without saying anything. Pallas lowers the dagger. There's him in his aura stance, doing a little aura farming.
My people, I'm surprised how quickly you forget. Did a century of colonization and oppression leave nothing behind in your hearts? The Sargonians destroyed our home and cities, distorted our culture, extinguished our language. Is this memory not enough for you to be on guard against the Sargonians? How could you cast the past aside? How dare you continue to deal with them? Culture, exchange, fine words. They're not taking the technical data from the construction of the three Polei, but the blood and sweat that we shed when we built on them. They're taking away evidence of their crimes, rewriting history, creating an illusion of Sargonian friendship to wipe away the memory. All of you are accomplices and accessories.
Xanthos looks toward the audience. The Sargonian deputy is furious. The Astinus of Athenius is utterly impassive, as though she fully expected him to be here. Cassandra is looking at him with a worried expression a short distance away, while his apprentice Lycon is watching from the shadows in a distant corner alongside his old classmate. The two people on stage look stunned. He does not know how much of it is an act, and how much of it is his own imagination. Lying beneath their feet is the soldier whom he kicked aside, looking equally surprised.
Yes, the war is over. Seems like we could forget all the hurt and pain and begin a new life. So we dug out the divine revelations, dramas, and legends from old paper piles, built temples and altars, and thought we were continuing the legacy of the heroes. Does the life of Lisa really bring inner peace? Do pale words really comfort the departed? I see only conspiracy, scheming, and selfish desires. Where is the spirit of Minos? Where is the true heroic spirit?
All is silent. Then, the Sargonian woman steps forward. I can see the frustration and yearning in your eyes. You want to cross swords with the Sargonians face to face. This is your heroic spirit. Here's your chance. Come. As a Sargonian, I owe you this battle. Damn. Brave, Titi. Very brave. Very brave. Brave statement. Before we read the last two chapters and finish, as usual, gotta take the old piss break. So we haven't had much in the way of piss breaks, but you know, when you be drinking that liquid, you need those piss breaks. So all right, there. I'll expand it a little for you guys. Make your engagement video bigger, and I'll be back in a minute.
Alright. Let's get to this climax then, shall we? Let's shrink our fine visage back down. Put that there. Alright. We got 2 more chapters, gang.
It's been a long time since I last felt hot blood flowing in my veins. Not since I left the battlefield. Left my homeland, have I?
His vision begins to blur from the loss of blood. Everything seems covered in a white glow, and he instinctively closes his eyes. He hears the song of a harp, but he does not know where it comes from. He forces his eyes open and sees himself in an unfamiliar space. He sees floating in midair, people passing in front of his eye without acknowledging him, as though he's in a dream. Minoan captive? Oh. I will never work with the Sargonians. Beat me, torture me, kill me if you want, but you won't get one word out of me about the gorillas. So there are gorillas. Skata! Are you so angry? I thought Minoans liked logic. That's what the heroes of the stories all say. Trying to butter me up? I'm not talking. No need to be so on edge. Just want to have a conversation. I don't like interrogating people either. But I'll be reprimanded if I don't spend enough time in here. Nothing I can do. What are you doing, ma chère? Are you so stupid you can do something as simple as interrogate a prisoner? I'm on it, sir. Piece of trash, some noble. Tah. Sir watches as it says his interrogator jumps up from the ground nervously while his superior leaves after casually hurling a few words of abuse. Both seem used to such a situation. So the officer cusses and abuses the guard on a daily basis. The guard's complexion is young and pale. He's thin and mild-mannered, very different from the villagers' impressions of Sargonians. The prisoner warns himself to not let his guard down. Sargonians are cunning. Perhaps the two of them conspire to put on an act. Well, I have to act like I've been interrogating you. Could you say something? Anything? Anything? I've got a litany of curses for you. I could go on for days. How about something else? Something nicer. Something that can help us forget our struggles and helplessness. Tell me something to know in heroic stories. I know some of your legends from ancient books I collected, but they're not easy to find in Sargon. You already told this story a couple of days ago. I remember. Anything else? Think. We're just putting on a show for his superior. Why is he taking such careful notes? Why does Sargonian love Minoan legend so much? Is there something not right with this guy's head? You've only told 100 or so. There must be some more stories and legends in the land of heroes. Trying to provoke me? Not falling for that. Fragments you heard from the elders as a child are fine. It doesn't need to be complete or popular. The kind of story that would make a little Sargonian girl dream about Minos. There must be more, right? Well, if it's what he wants, I'll just make one up. As long as this idiotous Sargonian could tell. Alright, let me tell you about Ciope, the silent hero. A strange experience the prisoner has ever had. No one would believe the story if he told it. He decided to take it with him to his grave, if he ever gets out of here. Bloody bother. Finally got him off my back for the day. Oh no, I didn't know I was so good at making up stories. I should become a bard if I ever get out. Is that a crack in the door? Did that Ilithios forget to lock the door? Been a time since he last saw the stars. It almost feels like he's dreaming as he breathes the air of freedom again. Is he out? Is he free? Just like this? Useless trash! You better not going at cell every day and you haven't got a scrap of intel about the gorillas. Sorry, sir. I've been taking records, but he contradicts himself every day. I'm afraid nothing he says can be trusted. I knew you couldn't get anything done, incompetent fool. I'll interrogate him tomorrow while you watch and learn things are done in the Lord Amir's army. Yes, sir. Shit. No, I spilled something. My can. No. Thankfully, there was not very much in here. There was not much left in the can. But we have had a little spill. Where are... There. Okay. There are the little tissues over here. No. This is not a big deal, but it is a little spill. Thankfully, one thing about it, thankfully it's clear. Thankfully it is clear. It is clear. It is unfortunate I spilled my drink though, because now I'm running through all of my drink options here. Running through all my slurp options. Gonna have to respec into new slurp soon. Fugitive hears the guard and his spear talking in the distance. He hastens the movement through the bushes. Seems to have drawn the attention of the Sargonians. How did the prisoner get out? After a mash I hear you're worthless shit. You are dead if you don't catch him. Hearing the sound made by the skinny guard's ill-fitting armor sets the fugitive's heart at ease. He knows a single Sargonian could never catch him on this Minoan land. He's one final look back as he escapes the Sargonian camp. Fugitive sees the frail guard stumble and fall. The guard's luxurious armor, probably an heirloom, weighs him down so much that he struggles to get himself off the ground. Or perhaps he just wanted an excuse to knock it up. Did he really forget to lock the door, or did he finally find an opportunity to leave a crack? The prisoner does not know. The only thing the prisoner knows is that he'll never forget the time he spent at that Sargonian camp and the ridiculous-looking Sargonian.
What is this?
It's my father.
Xanthos turns around in surprise and sees the Sargonian woman standing in the same vision as he. There is surprise on her face, yes, but also nostalgia and poignance. I know he came to Minos in the Lord Emir's army, but was sent back to Sargon for his incompetence. He would have received a heavier punishment, but what little glory the House of Mashir had left protected him one last time. He never really achieved anything, and it wasn't a surprise that he would mess up after he was conscripted. He didn't like to talk about his time in Minos, and I never asked. I didn't know this was where those stories of the Minoan heroes he told me came from.
It's very different from my image of a Sargonian.
Yes, he was always weak and soft, never talking back even when insulted to his face. I always wondered why he loved heroic stories so much when he was the furthest thing from a hero. No wonder. No wonder he told me the story of Sophie the Silent Hero so many times. The hero kept the secret for 30 years.
Planted the seed of heroes in your heart.
I have high hopes for you, Medjehtiqedti Nasatu Mashayer.
It's an honor.
Do you understand why I appointed someone like you to lead the mission? Someone so young and inexperienced?
You must have your reasons.
You're much smarter than your father was. The House of Mashayer was a noble house with a rich tradition. It was on good terms with your elders. It pained me to see the family fall on hard times under your father. He was frail and idle. Arranged a cushy post for him in the Lord Emir's army in Minos, safely away from the front lines, and he almost got himself into a court-martial. When Minos came up again after all these years, you were the first person I thought of. Young Medjehtiqedti is much sharper than her father, I thought. She'll have no trouble bringing a hop to Minos and bringing back a few blueprints that belonged to Sargon to begin with. You'll do a fine job and do your family proud, won't you?
Yes, Exalted Padishah. I love the legend of Minos and wanted to see true heroes with my own eyes since I was little. I'll make sure the Minoan mission goes perfectly. Padishah said a bunch of flowery words to me before I left, but I never understood why he made me the head of this mission. I guess it's because it's easy to get rid of me if something goes wrong. I had no idea those blueprints contained such detailed records. Frankly, I don't really care about doing the Mashayir name proud. I came because I want to see this land that I've always fascinated about with my own eyes, and chase the legends I've only heard about. Or perhaps I want to find some answers about my father. What's this land of heroes that father talked about really like? What was the Sparrow Spirit really like? I wanted to learn, to find out, so I came to Minos.
Have you found the answer?
Yes. What about you?
I
was once like you, Xanthos.
Pallas, you too?
I've seen with my own eyes how our people died shielding their comrades from the Sargonians, and heard the screaming of the wounded being amputated in the village huts. Hate flowed in your heart and mine, in the hearts of every Minoan.
Even now, in my heart.
I know, but, never stop to think about why we love to drink. Besides the sweet fragrance of wine and the joy of harvest that it represents, the inspiration and joy that it brings us besides all that, it's also because it makes us forget, if only for a while. Too many things trouble us and make us hurt, but we can't forget them completely. To do so would be a betrayal. So we drown ourselves in drink, seeking a moment's forgetfulness. But then, I had to leave Minos.
Oh yeah, young night sports fan. Oh shit, is this in Casimir's?
You're Pallas, right? Aren't you? Oh, the medics told me you often drink here.
Yes, I am. What is it?
You're Minoan, right? You been in the locked him on competitions? You know, did Dagoblis the Blood Knight? Did you ever fight him?
No, but I've heard of him. A Minoan infected who participates in the Casimir's majors, I think? Well, actually, the competitions in those two places are not quite the same thing.
But they're both clashes of physical ability and skill, aren't they?
I knew it! The principle of strength is the same everywhere. The Blood Knight must be strong because of his Minoan upbringing.
I want to meet the Blood Knight, but he's retired now. So it's an honor to me to know another Minoan master. Can I have your autograph? Anywhere's fine. How about my shirt? Oh, thank you so much. So, do Minoans have a special way of training? Or do you love drinking? Is that part of your training? Accelerating blood circulation with alcohol and increasing explosiveness? Medics all say you can fall asleep anywhere. There's no way to save energy. You only fully utilize your physical ability when necessary. I see. That's why the Blood Knight was so explosive.
This is just my personal habits. I don't know how the Blood Knight trains, but I doubt.
I get it. Just fantasizing about things. I get carried away. Hope I didn't cause any offense. It's alright. You really love Decapolis, don't you? Yeah! Lost all hope after learning that I have erypathy, but the Blood Knight gave me the will to live again. I watched the recordings of his bout so many times, I've even started training myself, hoping to join an effective nightclub someday. He was the one who blazed the trail for the infected in Kashmir night sports, paving the way for the Radiant Knight's return to the tournaments. His bout with the Radiant Knight was one for the ages. I was there for it. I cried when they took the podium together. I wasn't sure why I cried. It's because I saw a flicker of hope for the future. Guess he's the kind of hero the Minoans talk about. He's infected. According to conventional Minoan wisdom, do infected heroes have some kind of special title in Minos? No, but he's a hero, yes. No one can deny it. Traditions don't stay unchanged forever, Xanthos. The stories of the heroes defined and shaped who we are, yet, because heroes arise from among us, we in turn possess the power to define them and to reshape what it means to be a hero. I learned that after I left Minos. Well, the Blood Knight? I know that guy, the Blood Knight from Cajamir's? From Near Light? Our goddess of victory is back! Or just right another Sargod cavalry unit that tried to sneak across the border. I told you not to call me that when we're in the village, it's embarrassing. The title we give to Pallas. Whoever leads us to victory is our goddess of victory. That's what Pallas said when she left. You can use this overblown title however you want, if it scares the Sargonians. As long as we still have our goddess of victory, you'll keep the Sargonians away. Yeah, although Sargonian raiders still come every now and then. Since she signed that non-aggression pact with Sargon's border tribes on behalf of the villages in the area, raids are getting fewer and fewer after we won a few victories. It's all thanks to the reputation of the goddess of victory. Besides, inheriting Pallas' title makes me feel like I can't give up, which helps me pull through tough battles. It doesn't just scare our enemies, it also inspires our own. Yeah, that's what heroes are for. The village of Akrati brings back so many memories.
It's very much like my homeland.
All the villages in Minos are alike. The same soil nurtured us. But it's not just because of the same soil that we're a single nation. It's because we know the same stories. Only we, upon seeing the olive branch, remember how the hero, Medjehtiqedti, ran from Athenius to spread the news of our victory over the Sargonians to the other cities. He was carrying the olive branch of Athenius, so it became the symbol of victory and hope to us. That is what truly belongs to us, something the Outlanders and invaders cannot take away. As long as we keep living, we'll carry on those stories, change the traditions so that the legends of Minos' heroes may continue, the spirit of Minos may continue. Minos is wherever we are. Oh, there's a little blood on the harp. It is a strange scene that unfolds before the eyes of the citizens of Athenius and the guests from Sargon and their city-states. It's an exhilarating battle, but when the oar-wielding Minoan warrior's blood falls upon the strings of the harp in the hands of Kersera's statue, the ancient harp begins to make a sound. An old machine starting up after a long summer, its gears slowly beginning to turn. The harp begins to sing, the trio on the stage slow down, during a trance-like state, sometimes angry, sometimes sad, sometimes laughing, sometimes weeping. The Minoan challenger is finally overcome by exhaustion and slumps down by the statue's pedestal. The other two on stage finally break out of their trance. They look around themselves in confusion before running towards the challenger, reaching out to him to try to help him up, getting no response from him. Shouting, the cheering, and the angry yelling have all ceased. Those present begin to realize they have witnessed a miracle. The harp that stopped singing after the Sargonians invaded has returned to where it belonged and declared. The tradition continues, and a new chapter is written in the stories of the heroes. Harp's music echoes in the sky above the square. There's Titi going up to Xanthos. The oar is a sick weapon. Xanthos looks up. The autumn sun is painfully bright, but for some reason, it seems to bring back dim memories. After the day that he said goodbye to Ithacos. Do you believe that the girls can defeat the Sargonians even though we've been losing for a century?
I haven't received any divine revelation, and I can't tell the future. I can't even leave with you, but I will promise what I can. I'll protect our village, our houses, our farms and flower beds. Perhaps we can go to Athenius where you came from once victorious. I'll still be a ferryman, ferrying you to your workplace at the temple on the other side of the city as the sun shines upon the Delphi Canal. I've been imagining the scene ever since you described it to me. You listening, Ithacos? Minos is in for a cold winter this year, brother. Yes, but the spring will be all the warmer for it.
Simon remembers what he said to Ithacos, and he remembers the warm smile on Ithacos' face at the answer. The pain and anger of losing a dear friend had clouded his memory and caused him to forget what was most important. Things will get better. When spring comes and war is over, when life gets back on track, the wounds of the earth will heal. Snow will melt from the peaks of Haria and continue to float, bringing flowers and reeds home. He can let go. Medication and suppressants that need to be administered on a regular basis, fresh from the Rhodes Island office. I heard the Astenius' office had lifted the detention order on Xanthos and his apprentice, and does not intend to press charges against you for helping them escape. Yeah, I learned later that Lydia had guessed our plan and intentionally made things easy for me. Stands to reason she wouldn't pursue the matter. But the three of you still intend to leave Athenius? Yes! Staying will only give my old classmate ideas. He needs to see more places, meet more people, do more things. Yes. I rarely see you so honest-like, hun. I wouldn't have had 3 operators keep an eye on you if you were like this when you were my patient. Sorry for the trouble I caused. Looks like Xanthos' actions at the first temple had a considerable influence on you. How about you wave the white flag and admit Euripides doesn't sap your heroic spirit at all? In your dreams. Talk about a hardhead. You should go, or you'll miss the ferry. Xanthos' substitute is not as flexible about late passengers. He won't wait for you. Skada, let's go, Lycon. Thank you for the medicine, Kara Apollo. May we meet again. Hey, stay off the lawn. I just worked on it. Well, I suppose 2 young men won't be nearly as destructive as a whole herd of burden beasts. Flowers and grass they ruined haven't been cleaned up yet. Too bad about the blue baronia. Don't cry, Lydia. If bad guys ruin your house like they ruined my old home, we won't have a home to go back to. What would we do? Don't worry. I'll never leave you behind, even if the house is gone, even if we're separated. I know. Look for this garden if you're far away from home and don't know the way back. Garden? Yeah. I'll plant blue baronia here, so you'll know you're home when you see it. And if you find the way first, mark it the same way, won't you? Alright, it's a promise, Lena.
Xanthos is an aura farmer. We all know this. That's true. We know this. We've been knowing this. The man loves his aura.
The public garden's lawn, once filled with flowers and herbs, is now filled only with burden beast footprints. Even if it's temporarily lost its beauty, however, the blue petals remain in the soil. So many blue baronias. You think of the past too, don't you? Thank you, Lydia. I'm home.
Ah, this rep.
Fruit farmer rep. I brought this year's apples, Cassandra. The portion set aside for the temple's offering has been sent to the cellar. I saved this for you and the others at the temple to share.
Thank you. It's very kind of you to do it every year.
Our good harvests are all thanks to the help of everyone at Athenius. Besides, you help so much with the coordinating of the temple.
You seem to be in a good mood today.
To us, nothing matters more than the harvest, and a good harvest brings happiness.
Nothing matters to us more than everybody's happiness. The harvest is an important part of it.
We're counting on you. I'll take my leave now. The pomegranate will be ripe for harvest soon, and there are branches waiting to be trimmed.
Oh, sweet apples and bright sun. What a lovely day. Pal is immediately here to just eat and drink. The ceremony at the first temple was successfully concluded, and the ferryman you were caring for has found hope. All is well, isn't it, Herrera? Why do you look so sullen? You're the one I'm worried about. Me? Why? I've been thinking about what you said when you came back to Athenius. You said you saw the beginning of Minos in your dreams, saw Caracera and her first temple. You said you thought a lot about Minos' past and future, about your own goals and direction. All of this is why you came back. The events of recent days seem to corroborate my interpretation of the divine revelation. It is not a beautiful future of smiles and flowers. The unease lingers in my heart. Divine revelation is simply the direction the spirit of heroes has shown us. It's not an inevitable future. We learned about that in preschool. That's true for ordinary revelations, but for example, I wanted the hop to return, but the peculiar manner of its return makes it seem so inevitable and unchangeable. Look at it from a different perspective. While the final goal was the return of the harp, the manner of its return was wondrous. Perhaps it's the same for my revelation. Or perhaps your interpretation is not the final goal. It's only one of the trials during the process, and the goal lies elsewhere. I hope you're right. Besides, the recent events have demonstrated that it was right for me to come back. Minos needs me, and I need it. But you don't want to take over the first temple, despite the fact the bulk of the work is done, because you believe your Euripides will be an obstacle to priesthood. But Xanthos has told me about the vision he saw in the temple square. Thought you didn't worry anymore. Traditions can be changed, you were right. Initiate a vote in the council. No, I didn't propose rebuilding the first temple to become its priestess. I wanted to unite our spirit, not just Athenians, but other city-states and Minoans too. I heard Lacedaemon and Corinthia have changed a lot. I want to see them for myself. So you did come to say goodbye. Not quite yet. I want to see the temple project through to the end. I'm not missing the completion party that Conti is already planning. Carefree as always. Thank you for the kind invitation. It was quite an unexpected play. Athenia is about to depart along its planned route, and it's time for us to depart as well. I hope you will excuse the unpredictable events that occurred. Seems I did not plan for every possible contingency. On this, there's something I'm curious about. The ferryman openly accused you of making secret deals with the Sargonians on the Temple Square. You were summoned to the council yesterday for an emergency hearing, yet you are back to your office safe and sound. Do you have a trump card up your sleeve, or is this more to this matter than meets the eye? More than meets the eye is overstating it. I had simply made certain arrangements for the follow-up to this matter. Counsel of the explanation is satisfied that I remain competent to govern. As for the details, I regret that I'm unable to share them as yet. They will reveal themselves in due time. All we need to know is that you remain the Astinamos of Athenius, with sweeping authority over major matters of administration and governance. I'm glad to hear it, and now I have a formal proposal. I'm sure you both of you understand that dramatic changes are happening in Minos right now. It is the case in Athenius, it is the case in Lactamen, where new arenas being built, although it'll host competitors from far and wide. Plus, where tradition is not quite music to your ears, Astinamos, but do you think now is the time for us to revive the old traditions? Changes are happening across the land. How about the three polis set aside the rivalries, return to the old city-state federation, and revive an ancient festival? The scattered villages in Minor Palais will surely answer the call, and the nation will grow stronger. The perfect opportunity to restore Minos' glory and to spread the sacred flame across the land. What do you think? Is this a setup for a Minos summer event? Is that what this is? The setup for a Minos summer event? De Soleil's holiday, but Minos and cooler. Although then again, De Soleil's holiday did have Lyn, that was pretty cool, but it also had Chen. Old merchant habits die hard. Can't go into the market without doing some research. I apologize if I caused any offense. You're good at causing accidents. I'm afraid I can't give you an answer right now. That's not a problem. It's right to be prudent. Or are you Priestess Sinica of Lactamen? I cannot make decisions for Lactamen by myself. However, there's one thing of which I'm sure. Lactamen never turns down a challenge.
I'll take you across the river, then you should go directly back to Sargon.
Man, I feel like a prisoner being deported. Just kidding.
This is not. I still don't like you. You know that. I understand your friendship towards Minos, but you're still Sargonian nonetheless. And I have a hard time abiding Sargonian feet upon the soil of Minos.
I understand. I've been thinking whether there's anything else I can do for Minos for the mistakes of my forefathers. Maybe I should leave the engineering notes at 3 Palais and bring back only the blueprints back. After all, the Pasha only told me to bring back blueprints, and I thought it wasn't enough. Just a half-hearted compromise, an excuse to run away from my responsibilities and lessen the feeling of guilt. I should bring them back and display them in my museum so that Sargonians can see it and know that their history books are lying.
Your Padishah won't be happy about it.
Who cares? My family wasn't ever particularly good at making the Padishahs happy. Besides, I met with your Astinamos, that shrewd Volpo, yesterday, and she already made preparations in advance. She's a fucking snoopy bitch. She had scholars compile and photocopy all the documents, even wrote a paper on it to be published in a Columbian journal once the exchange was complete, and I brought the documents back. She asked me to write a foreword from the perspective of a Sargonian, providing endorsement for the paper. She wanted to leverage the connections I built while studying in Columbia to invite experts to study these invaluable historical records. She said she would name me an honorary Minoan for this.
I admire your courage to tell me this.
Just doing what my father couldn't. Besides, I enjoyed my time in Athenius. The priest was up in the Minoan temple yesterday, and she said the vision I saw on stage was a divine revelation. I was surprised because the book said Minoan divine revelations only happen in dreams.
Divine revelations can occur in the form of dreams, visions, or voices, but dreams are the most frequent form they take because they are an important way for us to interact with the spirits of the heroes and the departed.
That's what the priestess said. I told her about the vision I had on stage and the dream I had at the Burn Beast Ranch. She gave me a very detailed analysis. Finally, she told me in that solemn and mysterious tone, "You may believe it now, Kyria Masheer, but I believe your revelation is a sign that you will one day become a Padishah." How did she get that? She wasn't messing with me, was she? I'm an honorary Minoan now. I'll actually believe what the priest says I'll actually believe it the priestess if anyone tells me.
You're afraid to believe. Divine revelations are simply a form of guidance. Believe in it, and it will bring you strength. Perhaps a lot of tragedies could have been avoided if a Padishah like you rode over the Sargonian border.
I think I understand now. I'll take it as a sign of the responsibility I have to bear in the future. I'll do my best. This public announcement, is it a referendum?
Yes. I'm going back to Athenius after I take you across the river. The citizens of Athenius will vote on whether to banish me from the city for my recent actions.
But you did it for Minos.
Regardless of the reason, I must face judgment for my actions. It's the responsibility I must bear. It's time. Let's go, Kerea Mashayer. I saw Ithacos again in the vision, as was the river on my homeland.
Was it still red with blood as it was in your dreams?
No, it was quiet and gentle, as I remember it. Not pristine, but carrying the sand and mud that nourishes the soil and the life.
A beautiful revelation. You'll be able to take up poems again no matter where you go.
Yes.
Whatever the result of the referendum, whether he stays in Athenius or leaves, Xanthos will accept it with grace. He walks toward the square. 3 months later. Look at this letter from a Lateran scholar, a most stunning revelation. The study of history is a continuous process of seeking truth by eliminating misconceptions. I'm impressed by the courage that your nation has demonstrated. In this editorial in a Colombian newspaper, Sargon shows integrity through proper recognition of history. I've been calling in favors every single day to repair the damage you've done, ever since that special exhibit you held after getting back from Minos. I hope you understand that such maverick methods only work once. If anything like this happens again, you'd better think about what you'll do once you're removed as curator of the Vajavandabad Museum.
Is this your will or the Padishah's?
Is there a difference? My will is the Padishah's will.
Thought we had a consensus before we left Minos. The success of the exchange ceremony and the thought we had a consensus before we left Minos. The success of the exchange ceremony and the mission of friendship with Minos is all thanks to your leadership. In turn, it'll be your responsibility to explain things to the Padishah. However, much or little of what you say is entirely up to you, as long as the Padishah is happy.
The exchange ceremony was completed under my leadership to begin with. Besides, how was I to know you'd be so audacious as to? Don't think you're in the clear just because I smooth things over for you this time. There won't be a next time. Besides, and don't you dare say I didn't warn you. This matter has had a significant impact far and wide. My connections have told me the City of Gold has sent a herald to Manat Hamet. You will watch your words and behavior from now on.
And there's a little room here. Very cool. The almost hieroglyphic style wallpaper. The very kind of firm, a lot of open space. Titi was given the pass. Titi was given the pass. Oh, a manticore. Oh, that's a nice design. I like the yellow stockings. Very vibrant. The hair and the stockings immediately stood out to me. They're so bright. That's the guy that got the pink head wings as well. First Manticore other than Manticore.
Such noble elegance and dignity. You must be the herald of Shanhancha. Your presence honors this humble museum. Have you come to see the exhibits?
If you want to see the new special Minoan exhibit, I could.
You stay put. I will guard the herald.
The exhibit can wait. I came here to. I probably should. I don't think I even read her line. I see that news and my mission precedes me. The exhibit can wait. I came to communicate the Shahanshah's will. His Majesty has heard of the mission from Menhad Hamet to Minos, and he is most interested.
You came to escort me. It's my greatest honor. My family is one of the most honored houses in the land. It was always my greatest dream to serve the Shahanshah in the City of Gold. I knew that one day I would.
It is not you I seek, Effendi. Kindly close your mouth, for it is making too much noise. Medjehtiqedti Nasatu Mashaya. His Majesty awaits your presence in the City of Gold. The King of Kings might hear of your time in Minos in your own words. You should make your preparations quickly. The Shahanshah is eager to hear from you. Do not keep him waiting. Of course!
What the fuck do you mean?
Well, if they hide too well. Maybe they're also not that common. It's like, I'm pretty sure Courier honestly should not have his own race. Kuora Total. Roberta is not. She's an Anati. Roberta's not one of the special races. She's just an Anati. Gora, turtle. There should be more turtles. Bubble is a rhino, which like those are pretty location specific. I'm pretty sure in Arknights as well. They're only in like Sargon, and I think blue poison, similarly the Anura, are fairly rare. Either way, that's it, ain't it? Yeah. There we go. We made it. We made it to the end. Who's our other Anati? There's several. Robin's in Anati. Shiryuki's in Anati. There's a couple. I think there's another I'm forgetting. Mayor, I think, is in Anati. There's like several Anati. Shiryuki is in Anati. Yeah, Shiryuki's in Anati. I can... Naughty Arknights. I can pull up the wiki page if you'd like. Okay, wiki, Anati. Yup. Mayor, Robin, Roberta, Shiryuki. And then also Gulo. So yeah. So indeed. Yeah, you're looking like a bit of a LARPer. You're looking like Dio on the Solox at Saturday at 7 p.m. Eastern. We should be back at 7 p.m. Eastern. We went a little early last week. We went early because Dio had 4th of July responsibilities. So we went a little early yesterday. But we should be back to that. And yeah, as also previously stated, any advice for or any recommendations for co-op games to play, because I'm trying to stream with more people, let me know. I will take them into consideration. Now, thank you to everybody for showing up, and I'll see you all next time. Also, if you haven't seen the new Uma video, watch that, and I'll see you next time, probably on Tuesday.